I want to thank Biafra people who obeyed and listened to our sit at home in civil disobedience against Nigeria election. We recorded about 90% of compliance in the sit at home, and we recorded success. I want to thank you for believing in me. I want to thank you for believing in the truth. And I want to thank you for standing on the truth, for standing on the path that will lead to our freedom. For standing on the truth. I want to also thank those who disobeyed the sit at home and those who went ahead to validate the Nigeria election. I want to thank you because without you, we will not know the truth. Without you today, the world will not know how corrupt and how bad the system of Nigeria is. Without you going to the street in disobedience to the Biafra freedom, the world will finally not know the truth. So I thank you for disobeying the order and making sure that your actions, your attitude have exposed Nigeria to the maximum. I appreciate you for allowing God to use you, your strong head, to make this voice heard all over the world. I want to specifically thank P2B for making himself available to God to be used for the final stretch. For making himself available for Nigeria disintegration. I want to thank P2B for making himself available to be used for Nigeria disintegration. God to expose the injustice, the inequalities, the marginalization, making himself and how Nigeria despises IGBOHO to be used for people at large. I want to thank P2B for making himself available for that task, because without him going to the election, some of the people that want my head, some of the people that want me killed, including those that place bounty on my head, wouldn't know the truth. So I thank P2B against all odds for making himself available so that Nigeria will further expose themselves to the world. The fraud called election has created mass upheaval, and people everywhere are now questioning the system, that what else could exist to combat the rampant Nigeria inequalities, dangerous diversities, and form just and a fair society. This state of the nation is a timely reminder to ask ourselves, what is reconciliation? What is the intention, the meaning of the word? Where has it come from and where it can take us to? My State of the Nation broadcast today centers on the reconciliation of the Biafra and Igbo-speaking part of the Biafra people. I want you to understand that we have just concluded our successful sit-at-home today. Today is the last day of the sit-at-home, and we recorded 100% compliance in the sit-at-home. During the election, 90% because many people went out and casted their vote. I want to inform you today that it is only in Biafra land that you did not record any violence during this election as a result of the measures that the Biafra people took during this election. The measure is that we decided to sit at home, and few people who decided to disobey this order went out and casted their vote without any harassment, without any intimidation from any Biafra agitators, from Biafra Liberation Army, without any problem in any part of Biafra land. Rather, where we recorded electoral violence is in the other part of Nigeria, in the southwest, in the northwest, in the northeast, and other parts of Nigeria witnessed many deaths of innocent Nigerians, and that were averted in Biafra land. I want to thank Biafra Liberation Army for not interfering in any way in disrupting or trying to disturb the people who disobeyed the sit-at-home order, because in the past, They have accused us that it was us that always go after those who disobeyed the order. Meanwhile, it has been the Nigerian state. But because the election have taken their interest or taken their eye away from the people in Biafra land because of the sit at home, so they could not unleash the mayhem on Biafra people. Rather, they unleashed the mayhem on other parts of Nigeria, as we can see. So I'll use the opportunity to thank the Biafra Liberation Army. I thank Biafra agitators and those who are involved, especially in our security, that make sure that there were no electoral violence around Biafra territory. The way Nigeria state conducted their election, which Katrina Lang, the British ambassador, has been campaigning and championing and supporting this election for the Nigeria state, and then also the reaction from different observers from international organizations have shown that Nigeria has failed. The way the observers from the European Union, the comments coming from the European Union and other observers, and the recent released by the ECOWAS is a confirmation that Nigeria has failed. What we should be talking about today, the international community must understand that Nigeria is not a country you can suppress. Those who found themselves in the Nigeria territory and who call themselves Nigerians are mad people. And sometimes when they have had enough, you can't manage them. And this issue of the election is one of the incidents that has happened, and the effect will not be managed at the end of the day. We witnessed the worst irregularity, including ballot box snatching by the state and political actors and their thugs. While the Nigeria police watches them, the continued disenfranchisement of Igbos in different parts of the country, from north, west to east, where they were threatened if they vote a particular tribal candidate or not allowed to vote at all. Some of the Igbos in Nigeria were turned back by the state-sponsored thugs and criminals, while the Nigerian security agents watch them perpetuate all those crimes against Igbo people. The aftermath attack of Igbo Biafrans in some part of the country, Nigeria, after the election, due to their support for a particular candidate, is unacceptable by the Biafra people. And I believe the international community have taken a very big consideration and know that it can never be acceptable by anybody. The inefficiency of the Nigeria State INEC, where the BVN was never issued to capture or upload election result as expected, leading to some political parties such as PDP, Labour Party, to walk out from the collection pronouncement area of INEC when they were calling the result. These are the issues that made Biafra people to call for the boycott of the Nigeria fraudulent election, and today we have been vindicated. But the question here is not about the vindication. We are not interested about the vindication, but we are interested about the lasting solution of the people of the Niger area, those who find themselves in this evil entity called Nigeria. What is going to be the solution? That is what Biafra people are interested in. Lasting solution. The missing of people names at their registered polling unit during accreditation that led to many of those registered voters not participating in the election and thereby disenfranchised. The report of different types of ballot papers used at different polling centers by different INEC officials proved by state actors to further manipulate the election figures. It is something that the Biafra people know from the beginning, which led to the reason why we decided not to validate Nigeria fraudulent election. The lack of transparency to allow party agents access to final voting numbers at the different locations and the inherent discrepancies between what was voted and what INEC reported. The abuse of Biafrans, flogging by the Nigeria state, captured on social media for expressing that they do not want to participate in the fraudulent election. We all watch how some Biafrans were flogged by the Nigeria security agencies for doing nothing. We watch how they lie some people on the floor, and they were abusing and physically abusing them and flogging them with African koboko. The abuse of Biafrans is not acceptable by us. We want to also call your attention to the numbers of vote. Numbers of vote in Biafra territory, it is very important that everybody take the note to know how many people voted in Biafra land. This is very, very important. I want the world to know that Biafra spoke in a very strong term that they have not validated this particular election. Today, I do not know whether the INEC have actually announced the result. I do not know because the result is fraud. But let me inform you today that according to the information and the intel that we have at our disposal, the APC terrorist group and terrorist party being led by Tinubu has won the election with over 9 million votes, while Atiku is second with over 6 million votes, and P2B is third with over 5 million votes. You can pay attention to the vote casted in Biafra territory, starting from the largest part of the Biafra land, from the Igbo, the 5 states. You can calculate how many people that registered for vote and how many people casted their vote. That will give you a kind of clue and picture of those who may vote against the referendum and those who will vote for the referendum. In Enugu State, for example, over 2 million registered voters, 480-something accreditators, while 1.6 million people refused to participate in the election on their own, registering our civil disobedience. So the number that decided not to validate the Nigeria election in Biafra territory outnumber the people that went out to vote. I just want to make you understand this. It does not matter, even if they come out, there are 2 million come out to vote P2B, they will still manipulate the election because we know they will never allow Igbo man to rule. I want you people to understand that the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, after the Monday result, continued to lead, but today they have finally concluded that he got a total number of votes, a total number of 9,352,001 votes, while Atiku got 6,806,564 votes, while P2B got 5,086,397 votes. All those numbers are fraud, fake, and scam. They are never real. Now, going to the main topic and the main topic of my speech today to the Biafra people is what I call the reconciliation. To reconcile, especially those who think that we were doing the wrong thing. We were never doing the wrong thing. We meant good and we meant well for the Biafra people and for the future of the Biafra land. To reconcile was needed the moment the country called Nigeria was colonized. In another time of a grape of fever, it shall have occurred through a process of settlement between all ethnic nationalities and the people and the British colonial forces. Our agreement should have been made based on the recognition of our unique and equal right as people that owns the land, especially those indigenous nationalities in Nigeria, the custodian of this land and waters of the old Eastern Nigeria, living within distinct socio-economic, political, and spiritual system and structure. But those first moment of the encounter did not result in any substantive agreement making between our people and the British company called the Royal Niger, with our very different conception of nationhood. This was a grave mistake this year at all costs. This mistake that the Britain made, that everybody agreed that the Nigeria state was forcefully joined together without the consent of every ethnic nationality, without a consensus, is something that must be corrected this year. So you have participated in election and do not say that, oh, you expected something differently to happen. No, the foundation is faulty. That is why Simon Ekpa and Biafra people and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in prison today, because he is trying everything to correct the faulty foundation to make things better. So you are going to practice a true democracy. Today, Nigeria do not have democracy. This was a grave mistake that must be corrected this year at all costs, 2023. Too frequently, as we all know, violence erupted and atrocities were tactically condoned and then buried while institutionalized discrimination was entrenched. Marginalization of our people and allowing generational disadvantage to take hold and inequalities to grow. This has been the mistake of the British, and Fulani Caliphate followed it up. And with this impunity, you can never have a progressive country. A country where you have a generational disadvantage and also a generational inequalities. And you allow this generational disadvantage and generational inequalities to grow. You can never make peace. You can never have peace. You can never have tranquility. You can never have progress in such country. And that is exactly what Nigeria represents. That is what Biafra is fighting against. Over the decades and centuries, the need for reconciliation took on a new and urgent dimension of the truth-telling to halt the perpetration of injustice and the right, past and the ongoing wrong through proper compensation and the incorporation of Biafra right and self-determination into the fabric of the Nigeria state has also failed. We listened to Gowon after the war when Gowon said that the reconciliation process has started. That was a scam. Today, the Biafra generation, of which I am part of, have risen up to say that we're never a reconciliation. The Igbo people speaking part of Biafra were never reconciled with Nigeria. And those who try to go into the election to see whether Igbo man will become a president, I believe by now we have been vindicated that with the current setup of Nigeria, you are not welcomed. You fought the wrong fight. You attacked the wrong person. You saw Simon Ekpa as your enemy, but today, I do not know the face and the mind you will use to say what happened to you for the past 3 days. Our former use of word reconciliation was born from the tremendous history and a burning need for a process to arrive at a structural settlement between our Biafra nation, all government, and the Nigeria and the British public. In 1970, when Gowon received Effiong and his group, a commitment for a true reconciliation was made to a treaty, and we had promised that this process could soon take shape, but that never happened till date. You agree with me that after the pronouncement of reconciliation by Gowon, General Gowon, in 1970, while he was receiving General Efyong's group, brought in by Obasanjo, according to Gowon, said captured Biafra army. That reconciliation never took place. That is the Nigeria system that we are rejecting today. A process of courageous acceptance of a woeful living history that has treated us apparently where hard truths are voiced and heard, and the nation does not turn away in anger, but grieves and learns reconfiguring its identity to be and to do better beyond reconciliation. But the gate of the board to Biafra ahead did not open as they should have. But today, the case is different. I now honestly believe that the Biafra Yoruba public is almost ready to take the next step, as momentum is building, and never should we allow the Fulani Nigeria government to shut the possibility down with fear or instilling fear in our people. Today, as a result of this election, the momentum is gathering, and I am urging Biafra and Yoruba people never to allow Fulanis to instill fear in them. What you are going to see next is the Taliban of Nigeria. We do not want to allow that to happen. I want you all to stand firm, stand very strong, and let your voice heard this time around in all way possible. There is no other way to reflect on this time other than our political system and structure will never work. People are not brave enough to state the truth that the system is being designed for Islamic State of Nigeria. We now live in an unsettled nation with grievances that will never be reconciled until we have a process, political settlement called referendum for Biafra exit by declaration. I want you to understand that we must not allow Nigeria to continue to put disunity, to continue to divide and rule us. And for that reason, I recognize and want to acknowledge the elders of Ndibo. Those who place bounty on me, I forgive you. Those who call for my head, I forgive you. Those who say Simon Ekpa must be killed for trying to speak the truth and save the Biafra people, I forgive all of you. I will never sit back and watch Fulani and Taliban of Nigeria use our differences to conquer us. The fight to liberate you from Nigeria just started. The only thing I ask you people to do is to understand that I continue to remain the good guy. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu continue to remain the good guy. What we want is the best of our people. We know that the modus operandi of the Fulani is to divide and rule. But this time around, it's not divide and rule, but rather divide and conquer. We will never sit back and allow that to happen. Let me be clear. What Gowon did in the 70s was not reconciliation. It is all but a word that has simply been co-opted to hide a political refusal to reform structure so that they can guarantee our equal place in the building of a modern caliphate of Nigeria. Of course, over this period, there have been worthy and ongoing attempts to Islamize us through different projects sponsored by Saudi Arabia by using Islamic Bank to loan money to the old Eastern Nigeria, Christian-dominated state of the old Eastern Nigeria. As important as they are, and they have brought many of you to the political and economic settlement, so there can be driving force for self-determination. And to do that, we have got to put the big agenda back on the table. And remember, Biafra have their place, but reconciliation is far more than this word. I want you people to understand that we must put our differences aside. Some of the governors in the Southeast have used a loan from Islamic Bank to build roads. They have used loan from Islamic Bank to build the infrastructures you have in the Southeast today. And those loans have not been repaid. What it means is that indirectly, the Islamic Bank is, having the share of the road you are using today. If that money is not repaid by these governors, Islamic Bank have the direct influence over the infrastructure that many governors have built today. I want you to know that we have this fact and we know how to handle them. We may have not been ready 20 years ago for what our people were proposing for this freedom. For the past 20 years, we may have not been ready. But I know Biafra is ready now. The just concluded fraud-called election has reawakened everyone to the need for a fundamental reset in the relationship between Biafra people and all the Nigeria government. It is a unifying poetic call to strive to true justice, reminding us all that Biafra people are not the problem. The election that you just witnessed now have further reminded us that Biafra people were never the problem. The problem lies in the structural inequality and exclusion of the Nigeria state, where we are not ever given the authority and capacity to make decisions that impact our lives. I want you to understand that there is nothing you can do for you to be part of making decisions in Nigeria. The time to make impact and save your future is now. The Biafra people have built a very strong structure in Biafra land, that all you need to do is to understand that we are actually serious. I want to inform Igbo elders today, being led by Okwadike, that the time to throw blames is over. I want to inform Okwadike, which is the leader of the Igbo Elders Council, that Biafra have built a very strong structure on ground, a very strong security structure that they do not know what they have. The time to liberate Biafra is now. Like I've said, those who call for my head are forgiving you. Those who say that I should be killed are forgiving you. What I am targeting is bigger than throwing blames. What I am targeting is bigger than the revenging. What I am targeting is bigger than vengeances. What I'm targeting is freedom, freedom of Biafra people. And the foundation that is going to lead us to this freedom has been built in a very strong way. You may be in Nigeria, but you do not know the structure and the foundation that we have built in Biafra land. You may be seeing us ranting on social media, but you do not know the foundation and the structure that we have built on ground. I want to inform you that we have built a very strong foundation that I can declare Biafra tomorrow and defend it. And on this reason, for this note, we are giving the opportunity to all those people who have been now, whose their eyes are now clear, that there is still opportunity to know that Nigeria is not for you. I want you to understand that another opportunity and chances is being given to everyone today to understand that we are not asking you to come and do anything. We are saying that we have what it takes to defend Biafra land, and we have what it takes to declare Biafra tomorrow. But remember, a tree cannot make a forest. We need you, and you need us. You cannot fight and become anything in Nigeria without the forces that we have. You cannot fight and become anything in Nigeria or liberate yourself from Nigeria without the structure that you have built so far. We know that some of you think that you were doing the right thing by sabotaging the security of the Biafra Liberation Army, thereby betraying the future and the struggle for Biafra. I am telling you today that after this incident that has happened, we want to give you a second chance. You have been forgiven. Those who think that I am a monster, I am not a monster. But let me tell you, Nigeria is a fraud. Nigeria is an evil country. Nigeria is a country that are full of mad people. And you need a mad person to liberate you from Nigeria. And I have chosen myself, volunteered myself to be used to liberate Nigeria. And I'm going to do it, with or without you. So for the fact that the land of Biafra is with me and with the people that I'm working with, for the fact that we have been able to build this structure without you, we are going to succeed without you. But what we need to do now is that we need to be very serious. And I want you people to understand that we are actually serious and we mean business. Like I said, when we declare Biafra, it is going to affect you. So the best thing is that you understand that we are fighting for your good. Nigeria is never for you, and the time is now, and the door is open. Irrespective of the fact that a lot of people may not agree with me, but I'm making this particular judgment with all sense of belonging and with my heart, with my whole heart. I am pouring my heart today to the Biafra people that all the elders that have betrayed me, betrayed Biafra struggle, all the groups that have betrayed the Biafra struggle, the opportunity is here for you. Of course, it is not every person that we are going to open the door for. There are people that we can never open the door until when Biafra come, we are going to settle our differences. But the group that the door is being open for now are the political leaders, the elders, the Igwes, the Ohaneze, the Elders Council, led by Okwadike, and all political leaders from the southeast of Nigeria, and also those from the south-south part of the Biafra. I want to inform you that if Pandef can endorse Obi, Pandef can also endorse Biafra. If Ohaneze can endorse Obi, Ohaneze can also endorse Biafra. The time has come. If Afenifere can endorse Obi, Afenifere can also endorse Biafra and endorse Yoruba nation now. It is going to be for the benefit of everybody. When Nigeria disintegrates, we will be able to progress according to our culture and value system. We'll be able to make decisions in a true democracy where everybody will understand and respect each other. I want people to understand that when this issue happened, sorry for that, I want people to understand that when we have this opportunity to make differences in our life, we have to harness it. All right, I'm sorry for that because I have some kind of disturbance here. We may have not been ready 20 years ago for what our people were proposing, but I know Biafra is ready. The just concluded fraud called election has reawakened everyone to the need for a fundamental reset to the relationship between Biafra people and in all Nigeria government. It is a unifying poetic call to strive for justice, reminding us all that Biafra people are not the problem. The problem lies on the structural inequality and the exclusion where we are not ever given the authority and capacity to make decisions that impact our lives. For political and business leaders still hesitant at the start line trust me, it is time to take leaps required to catch up the overwhelming public support for our Biafra nation. Voices to be permanently enshrined into the structure that form the enact national policy and legislation in the old Eastern region. When the voice is established in whether form that takes institutions, organization, state, and territory, government and the non-government sectors need to be prepared and willing to respond. Like I said, if PANDEF can endorse Obi, they can as well embrace and endorse Biafra now. If Ohaneze can endorse P2B, they can embrace and endorse Biafra now. Likewise, the Yoruba nation. It is time to recognize the fact that, again, the processes are already taking hold across every state and territory. In Biafra land, we have the development of the empowerment strategy and the treaty making is underway. And arrangements are being. We are enlived again relationship building, which site at the heart of reconciliation. I hope this evening you can all feel it in the room around you. The desperate, overwhelming need, complete honesty, that whatever approach we embarked on hasn't worked. And it is time to reset. And we can do it. I want you to understand that every attempt you have done to be recognized by the Nigerian state has all been fruitless, and it will never work. And let me tell you, it is going to get worse. The position you take now determines what happens between now and December. Responsibility for reconciliation. Legislated process are entirely necessary, but they mean nothing without our human involvement. It is up to all of us to engage in dialogue of substances and their political elite that are absolutely committed to actions and for agreement making. I am now socializing the report from the election across, using it as a tool for dialogue and to take action on critical issues that need to be reconciled to overcome a systematic inequalities and discrimination. It is here in Biafra land that I feel the door has. The Biafra government in exile has been constructive about what week I will be convening a ministerial roundtable with the cabinet. It can be a vehicle for change in the situation and in quest for Biafra exit. I am confident this discussion will lay the groundwork for the dialogue at all levels and the well-being of Biafra people and our nation's history. I really believe are forming our commitment from the Biafra Liberation Army, others to engage in genuine. This must be, and now we move forward. Let me finish by saying I am under no illusion of how hard the path ahead will be, and only believe that reconciliation is real when the government and other indigenous Biafra carries their weight, go beyond words, do all that they can in their power and privilege to post life. We are ready to work with Igbo elders if they repent. We are ready to work with Igbo ways in Biafra land if they repent. We are ready to work with elite within the Biafra territory. What we must reconcile is immense. In my own life, I have seen how history of nation has ripped families apart destroy lives, and trapped women, children, and families in endless circle of poverty. But I have perhaps seen something even more powerful. When indigenous and non-indigenous family members to heal from pains, to accept brutal histories, believing that unity, love, and care is greater than the anger of division and differences. It is those moments that I have been part of when we cry, hurt, laugh, and share, which can only be described as the spirit of reconciliation. It is time we reflect this humanity, all of who in the structures and the potential of the Biafran nation. You are welcome home to join us, and let us liberate ourselves. May God bless you. May God bless Biafra. Bless the elders that want me dead. May God bless Ohaneze that placed bounty on me. The time to put our differences aside is now. Those who feel that I am a monster, I am not a monster. I'm only a good guy who have come to make everything is done, that you will leave Nigeria and live perpetual bondage. Thank you. May God bless you. May God bless Biafra. Looking forward to seeing how we go forward from now on.
Navy blue check. Jakama. 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 Just Ibo. Just Ibo. Ibo. When that you are confused. The love is too much. 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 Jakama. Jakama. Let's go. Ìgbà tún ti dé ọmọ Olúwa. Àsìkò tún ti dé ọmọ Olúwa. Kò tẹ̀lé àmẹ́yàmọ́ ọmọ Olúwa. Kò tẹ̀lé àmẹ́yàmọ́ ọmọ Olúwa. Àsìkò ti tó, àsìkò ti tó láti bára wa lọ́dọ̀ ìjọba. Àsìkò ti tó ọmọ Olúwa. Àsìkò ti tó ọmọ Olúwa. Kò tẹ́lẹ̀ sí ẹni mọ́ ọmọ Olúwa. Àfẹ́lẹ́ yàgbẹ́ àmọ́ ọmọ Olúwa. Àsìkò ti tó, àsìkò ti tó láti gbára wa lọ́wọ́ ìjọba. Ọmọ Odùduwà Republic.
Again. No going back. Ìgbòho òòṣà iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ń tẹ̀síwájú. Mr. Koiki ẹ ṣé o, àwọn ọmọ mi ló kí yìí o. Àwọn ọmọ mi ló kí yìí o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa délẹ̀ rere o lórúkọ Jésù. Yorùbá nation.
That the sound is back. Thank you so much once again to those of you that join us at the Simon Ekpa, the spokesperson for the Biafra. Omoeku, thank you so much. And I love that picture you are probably using. With the picture in, it's for your status. Sorry about that, the audio is back. A very good evening once again. Sorry for the timing of not bringing the broadcast at exactly 1900 hours. I think we were about 3-4 minutes behind schedule. I was sleeping, but this is not the time to sleep as well. But body need rest. I had my meal after the long. And sorry for those that were watching us during the Twitter space. We lost communication, but it was fantastic. Event. Thank you so much, African Confidential, and the rest of those that join us. We had about 1,800 people on the Twitter space. Thank you for the sister that joined us, I believe, from somewhere in Africa. We had a brother that joined us in South Africa. It shows that many Africans are listening and following the conversation of those of us that are asking for the right to self-determination. Look, as you can see with my branded t-shirt from my big uncle Heritage, he gave me this some time ago. Not a crime. Self-determination is my human right. So, Mukiawa, thank you so much, Mrs. Omolara Iyabo Ajala. Thank you so much, those of you that are listening to me on the MixLR. Quite a lot of numbers of people on the Instagram. We are streaming on multiple channels. And like I always say, without your support, without your help, we will probably not be able to do as much as what we are doing today. So your voluntary donation is still something that, especially now that we don't even have access to the back end of the, thank you so much, Dr. Benjamin. YouTube has removed all these small super chat they give us. So maybe you are thinking of how do you support the platform so that we don't have to run to any of these criminal politicians. You can do so. It's voluntary by sending any of your donation into any of these. It's voluntary and it's also etiquette that we ask for the members of the public to help into the media. Media is a very powerful tool depending on how you want to use it. And there with us, I'm going to speak a lot of English because of our nation of the broadcast that we just had from Simon Ekpa, and we're going to go on that. You will listen to the Fulani man that joined us. His name is Waziri. I believe he's probably from the side of, Atiku. Under his status, he's also says he's a APC. You will listen to him. I recorded that part and the response Simon Ekpa gave it. And you will now understand the reason why we say our alliance with the Biafra at this stage is very, very important. And let me say this to all the Yorubas. I know you are not happy that Lagos is going out of your hand, but the Igbo are not the main problem right now in Lagos. This narrative that the Igbo people are going to take Lagos away from us, look, it's not going to happen even as it is right now in Nigeria. But should we remain in Nigeria? They have the right to establish anywhere and live anywhere. Just as me and yourself have decided to leave Nigeria 6,000 miles. I'm living in Great Britain. I'm not sure all the English men and women likes me to be here. But they have no choice. I've decided that this is where I want to live and I'm not going back home 24 years ago. So the same way the Igbo people decide not to run their business in Anambra, in Abia State, in Rivers State, any of the southeastern part of Nigeria, to come and set up, parts in Ladipo, Trade Fair, Computer Village, and they are doing businesses, and Lagos State, I believe, should be able to tax them. Oh, you didn't know that they are paying tax and they can decide to vote out Sanwo-Olu. Sanwo-Olu, you better prepare your mind in case they vote you out in the next few days. I don't know why Yoruba people are crying that we are losing our territory. You are not losing your territory to the Igbo people. We are losing our territory to everybody, especially the Chinese, the Lebanese. Lebanese are setting up more in Ogun State. I am more concerned about Lebanese than the Igbo people. I am more worried about the Chinese than the Igbo people. I am more worried about Dangote than the Igbo people. Look, when I go to Nigeria, I don't see Igbo people at the airport. I only see Hausa Fulani man with some tribal marks like this, like that, meta meta. Even with your American, South Korea, Japanese, and everybody has different passport. For those that have second passport, good luck to you. You suffer for it. So please make sure you enjoy it. But I'm not sure that each time you go back home at the Muritala Mohammed Airport, you see the Igbo man. Probably you see an Igbo man cleaning the toilet. So these narrative, especially some of our media, I don't want to mention their names, they are putting out this negative information to say that the Igbo people are our problem. You know, we have our kings that should be our problem. Do you know what Sultan of Sokoto is saying tonight? If you are thinking that you are missing out of the election, go to the court and deal with that. That is what Sultan of Sokoto is putting out. So today, fún gbogbo ọmọ Yoruba, please, my Biafra, make us speak this language so that they can get the message. Because sometimes English na problem. This English where they speak is a big problem. So just bear with me. Let me get this message into the skull of the Yoruba people. And it doesn't matter how close you are to me, even if it's my family. Igbo people kò ní problem wa. Àwọn ọmọ Igbo kò ní problem wa. Lajú sílẹ̀ nígbà tí Chinese tó lọ sí Ọ̀ṣun State tó ń wa gold wa tí a dẹ̀ ní kábíyèsí ní Ọ̀ṣun State tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ 8 months, and I believe we should be able to have that video tonight. I'm just going to look for it again. I know I should have it in my history. Igbo people kò ní problem yìí. If you have problem, you have sold your mother's land, your father's land that you should have kept because you needed money, and the Igbo people or the Biafra, because some say they are Igbo and some doesn't want to align with Biafra. So I just say the southeastern people. If you are concerned that you have sold your father's property and you want to come and use that because you are doing Yoruba nation or because you are doing APC, hey, I don't want these Igbo people to take away my land. Which land? How are they going to take the land? So please let us take this narrative away from our minds and our hearts. The main problem, I was just told by my wife that somebody actually put out there that koikimedia has been banned from YouTube, or even account was suspended after this broadcast. So this person has probably even gone to use the same broadcast. Imagine, he's making money on my broadcast. So the person, imagine that somebody have actually put out a broadcast about me that they've banned me on YouTube, but he's using the same video. Is that not madness? I told you we will damage and kill you from outside with the media. And that is why whenever, especially Simon Ekpa, have a nation broadcast or something emergency, I will transmit it. In the penuna. So this narrative that the Igbo people is taking your land, which land? How are they going to take the land? How is an Igbo man going to come and take Ogun State? Look, let me say this again. Should any Igbo or even the Biafra or the Southeastern at any time wants to take our land, we will fight each other and we will kill each other until we take back that land. Okay, maybe that will make your mind satisfied. But these narratives that our medias, I've listened to them, they are very bitter. Just like Adeyinka's grandson is very bitter about the Igbo people. I know we've got bad history. I didn't say we are good friends. We are enemies, okay? But for now, the common enemy is the Northerners, especially the Fulani, that is creating damage. So remove this nonsense out of your skull head. How? Oh, you are not talking about the $90 billion project by Dangote. One day, Dangote will decide who becomes the Lagos state governor. One day, it's coming. One day, Dangote will decide who become the Lagos State governor. That is the influence of when you have a monopoly like Dangote. Monopoly is not a very good thing. They remind me those that own Sky, Rupert Murdoch. We had to break his bone here in UK. He was running a monopoly broadcasting. He wanted to control everything. That is what Dangote is doing. So your concern should not be these petty traders in Alaba. Your problem should be somebody like Dangote. You will not talk about Fulani. You're talking about, is it the Igbo people controlling the Apapa port? Who owns Apapa port? Is it not the Yoruba people? Who controls it? Is it not the Igbo people? Election result never come out to my mommy. Election result is still cooking. The North are still cooking the result because the British gave the power to the North through a fraudulent consensus. Or no, not consensus, a censor rather. Once again, you're live with koikimedia. A very good evening to you, my sister Eunice, and the Zoo Nigeria now. I understand we have issues with each other, but at least sometimes you dey eat eba Igbo, you do business where they could sell you fake products. But when we have a Yoruba nation, we will think about the Yoruba first. The Constitution will respect everybody that wants to live in our territory. And let me say this, you cannot chase anybody away. It doesn't work like that too. You want to have a Yoruba nation. Oh, Igbo, we chase them out of the Yoruba land. No. It's just the same thing like if you're saying that the British should chase every one of us out. Even though some of us have got resident status. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon in UK. I mean, maybe those of you that have just arrived, they will ship you back to Rwanda if you're claiming for asylum. They will ship you back. So you are better off to go to Rwanda than waste your time to come to UK because the new immigration law, which is going to be very, very steep when we have a Yoruba nation. And I expect the same thing to happen in Biafra land. Immigration is not something you play with. You defend that border. You protect the borders. And the moment you lose your borders, that's the end of it. The reason why the Fulani terrorists can manipulate into our borders is because we have a porous border. And imagine the amount of money budgeted to the military every year. I believe in 2022, from what I was told, 129 billion naira was budgeted, and I'm sure we have not seen any result because more people were kidnapped than paid ransom. As they kidnap you on the street, they kidnap you in Apapa, they kidnap you in an airport, they kidnap you even when you want to get your passport. But if you go to the northern part of Nigeria, you can get a Nigerian passport on the same day. So our problem for now is to get the hell out of the shithole contraction of Nigeria. And those of you that keep saying that, I will go and report you. You can't sit down in UK and be bringing violence in Nigeria. Look, you saw violence in Lagos State by Tinubu thugs because they thought they were protecting Tinubu. Rather than think about the bigger picture. Don't mind them. We have so many Yoruba people that support Peter Obi as well. They're not going to talk about that. Oh, you lost Ali Mosho. I am happy. Everything that will build the crisis that we have been talking about, I am excited. So let's see how the final outcome of this election is going to look like. And those of you that keep saying that we don't have a template, what are you going to do? You say there's going to be election. You were lying. Blah, blah, blah. Is that election? The hand of Nigeria is now showcasing. I love the youth. Thank you so much for pushing the narrative. The tsunami that you've used to clear out as many idiotic governors that were thinking that they were powerful. Labour came, them smash every one of them out. That is a part of the revolution. The next revolution is going to be on the street very soon. I told you, I will be your end. I am your last man standing from the Yoruba side. Yes, we will defend the Yoruba land. That's what I'm doing. Why do you think I'm sitting there every day shouting Yoruba nation? So that we can have a system that would deal with the Igbo or the Southeastern that are selling fake products in our territory. And I will deal with the criminal Yahoo Yoruba boy. You will spend as many time in the prison. We will reform you. And when we bring you out, we will tag you. So whenever you want to commit another crime, under your tag, there's what I call electronic tag. We put it on your leg with networking. Good network, not like the MTN. The moment you leave your house after 6 p.m., it will send a signal back to the nearest police. They will pick you up from wherever you're committing the crime. That is how you do things. It's called electronic tags. So as they deal with the Igbo, or those that want to live with us there, under a constitution, we will also be dealing with the criminal Yoruba man that was spending credit card fraudsters. They came to US in the 80s, fraudsters. They're here in UK, they came in the 80s, criminals, spending credit card. Now, you know, if you spend, look, if you are going to spend my credit card now, I don't have one, my debit card, you will suffer. Because the moment you shack in your palm, alert will come here on my phone. Hey, I know they Oxford though, who they spend my card though? Bam, I block the card. Look, I can literally block my bank card from my phone. That is the kind of technology that we need. Not the analog that cannot even do a straightforward election. Look, this election, right? You can vote from your phone. You don't have. Imagine that people are. I was looking at some of the record. 26,000 vote cancelled in 2023. Why do you need to go and somebody weigh their fingerprint where they never chop? That the time you put there, it touch the next one. But when you do it in a way that from their phone, even from their tonosobe, how many people know what they call tonosobe? There's a phone they call tonosobe. It's like a torchlight. It keeps looking into your eyes, and you have to charge it at Yamukala house until you take it. Imagine your mobile phone. You will leave it in your friend's house. You pick it up in the morning. When technology is there, from your mobile phone, you can just say, "I want it to be," and automatically it goes into a server. 2G phone. Mad people all over the place. But they don't want that kind of society. Tinubu doesn't want that kind of society. Atiku doesn't want it. Peter Obi doesn't want it. They're just shouting. Nobody wants a society that favors everybody, where there will be rule of law. And somebody is even saying, I will be the second master. Thank you so much. You're watching a live transmission. So I'm going to play a video, the clip of this Fulani man known as the one that joined us on the Twitter space. His name is Mohammed Waziri. Maybe after listening to this, you will understand that I don't want to mention the name of our media that talks so much against them. Look, we have criminals among Yoruba as well, okay? So let's slow down. And there's no way Igbo people can take our land. And if they try to, we will fight each other, we will kill each other, but we will retain that land. And nobody has defeated Yoruba people before. But for now, we have a common enemy. And we must deal with that common enemy as quickly as possible. If not, we will all become... So let's listen to this video. Well, you won't say it is just an audio. I recorded it when the conversation was going on in the Twitter space. I didn't know that people, they follow us on Twitter. How many Yoruba people never get Twitter? Please go and get Twitter. Eunice Uche, I miss you so much, my sister. As life on the other side. You know, they blocked us for 1 week. They removed my monetization. I'm crying now. You think I'm doing this because of money alone? My name will be remembered for a very long time. You will never forget this name. Even after, look, every one of us on this platform watching me right now, 200 years from now, we are dead, gone. But history will remember my name more because I am the front face of it. But we will also remember each one of you. True Talk Margaret, or Hey Biafra. Woto Woto. Making her sit down, making her no vote. You went to go and vote. Oh, you were there, Eunice. Okay, wow. That Twitter space. I don't know, say people, they listen to Twitter space like that. We're going to start doing it more. I can even start it now, but the only thing, I'm not going to allow anybody to come and speak. They can just listen to me as I'm doing this broadcast. I'll probably start it in 2 minutes. 100 years we are gone, Benny. And when we're gone, who controls my territory? We are not here forever, okay? We are only here for a very, very limited period of time. So, which one? You see, these are part of the bigotry. Are you planning to live in Biafra land? Yes, why not? Why should I focus on you alone? You see, even as we are fighting for Yoruba nation, you must think about humanity. I still love the people in the north. Stop being this your bigotry. Prince 18, focus on our people. Which your people? Your criminal people. Your criminal people that doesn't want Yoruba nation. That went and vote, say, focus on, are you planning to live? If Biafra land is good, why should I come to UK? They say we love Yoruba nation, but hatred is inside you. Am I going to go and live in Yoruba land? I mean in Biafra land. I should focus with your people. Your people will abuse me every day. Put a constructive comment out there. Yeah, you can abuse us, but if Biafra land was better, why should I come to UK 24 years ago? I would have loved to live in a Biafra land that allows me to wear pants, to jog, and nobody's going to kill me. There are so many people jogging out now. It's just coming up to 8 p.m. This is the time that Oyinbo people they jog. After they come back from work with their shot, and nobody kidnapped them. And they're looking at their time because he knows the time is going to come back home. Idiot. I should focus on your people. Which your people? Your criminal Yoruba people. Is Biafra not a place to live? Why would people go and live in Libya? Do you know what is happening to Yoruba people in Libya right now? They're killing them. We're going to start the Twitter space, but I'm not just going to give anybody to speak right there, probably until later. So I'm going to start it now. But the thing is, I forgot to record the last one. Okay, yeah. Sure. You see, my family always checking on me. I love them. So we're going to record it as well. So, live, koikimedia. Pam, pam, pam. And then I'm going to start it. Bam. Technology. Remove my mic. No, not everybody will join me. Bam. We are live on Twitter space. It don't cost me anything. We are talking about our life. Who's calling me now? This is a studio line, so we get a lot of calls. Okay, I guess maybe somebody wants to call in. And they are here. I see this person put Biafra, Mazi Simon Ekpa. I know. Namdekano. Hello, good evening. You're welcome.
Blessings, my brother. I see on the screen, but I was not looking at the very comment. But I saw the number that telling me to start.
Okay, where the number no be Buhari number now. You know, so when you call Buhari, you don't get Buhari again. You know, when they are contesting, they give you a number, and the moment they become president, senator, they change the number. So yes, the number is working. Yeah, they change the number. I'm gonna play the audio. We're gonna play the audio. Yeah. Sorry, what do you say, my brother?
I say a bitch on those who put trust in God.
Yeah, don't mind them. They'll be criminal.
I just wanted to say, because you said something a while ago, because of those who are talking about IGBOHO and all those things.
Yeah.
The Christian Fulani that are behind them, these are those victims of the one bigger area, you know? It's just like someone will say now, what is happening with the road boost and and all those things, when they are bombing our people. You will see these are people bombing our people, but it was Fulani that they still live there.
Okay.
You know, because it's good for everybody to think about the roots of everything. Be it the roots of the so-called nigger area, the foundation of it, that is the roots, you know? Okay. So, and many of them don't think, but what you do, they know it, of course, that you're trying to open guys' people's eyes. You remember the Hausa guy that came, not the Waziri, I didn't see the Waziri. Oh, Abubakar, I will play
listen, my brother, when you drop, we are going to play that straight away. We will play that, but you wanted to respond to Abubakar, go ahead. We didn't record that particular Twitter space, But anybody that wants to listen to it should go on my koikimedia. We'll try and see if we can cut that section and we put it back out again. And I'm even running back on the Twitter, and it's recorded, and then we will be live there. But it's already on our platform. But go ahead. You want to respond to Abubakar from the north?
Yes. As you can see, with either that the Abubakar is a Fulani man claiming to be Hausa man.
Yeah, I know that.
Because if he's a real Hausa man, he's supposed to know his history, that they conquered, that they changed the Gobe to Sokoto, and it was Fulani, and Fulani took over everything in that place. So as a real Hausa people, we add them to confessing that Fulani began to open their eyes and helping them to regain their confidence again. So, and the way he was talking, the ideas he was bringing.
One minute, my brother. I beg no verse. You see, when you get some stupid comment, you say insulting Yoruba people because of Biafra is disgusting. That will be the end of you in this program. Bye bye. Yes, if that's what you think, go ahead. That's what you think. Mad people all over the place. You think this platform is a joke. Continue, my brother. So you shouldn't be on this platform. You are the bigot that shouldn't be on this platform. Go ahead. Go and watch a repeated one. So we take you out. Doesn't matter whether you're Yoruba. Even if you're my father, bye-bye, we'll remove you. Go ahead.
So the thing is that I could see the Stockholm syndrome with the man, the Hausa guy, the Abubakar. Because he doesn't know the answer to questions that he was trying to ask, and when the time was asking the question, he didn't get it. And he doesn't even come to the point that Fulani conquered them already and emasculated them. And now, when none of them protested when other people say that Nigeria is the unity is non-negotiable and all those things. We never see them protest when they say that South Africa cannot rule them or any of those kind of nonsense they are talking. So you realize that the guy is very, very ignorant of his own history.
No, they're not ignorant. He's just trying. Look, what they want is they're trying to play a devil advocate. He wants us to go, but we are locking with a system that is not going to allow us to go. And he's telling us, go and talk to your representative. Which representative? All these criminal representative.
And we never seen any of them protest against the crimes or the kind of authorities of these northerners, like Rufai, Shatima, or any of them. But when they say jihad and all those things, none of them protested. So how can you tell me that? And the guy was talking about his father about Igbo people. And he's an Hausa man, of course. He's already a masquerade person. We're not talking about him. But you've never seen him protest against the thing that the fraudulent moves made by the so-called rulers who are all Fulanis and all those things. And now I want to say that even the crisis you see in Yoruba land, those people are the same victims, both the Igbos there and the Yoruba, they are victims of the same thing like the outside guy. Well, they don't know themselves.
They probably would never know.
So, this is why they could use them. They use them and they want to. But you know, they want to use all this to scatter our alliance.
Okay, don't worry, I'm here. I can deal with every one of them, even including our media.
Simon is not going to, he cannot take Simon or anyhow. And any true Biafran or any true Oduduwa son, go people because you know who loves him and who not. You know who the problem is. But one thing is very, very clear. The zoo is nostalgic. Okay. The zoo is nostalgic, but the free fall fashion.
I want it very fast. Thank you so much. Let's just continue because people are listening. They want to listen to, because you listen to it, but you didn't even listen. When you listen to Waziri, you will become more angry. So just sit down there with a cup of coffee. So I'm going to listen to Waziri now. Thank you so much. Those of you, thank you so much, good man. Those of you that have joined us on the Twitter space, let me explain how this is going to work. At the moment, we're not going to allow anybody to speak. So you will listen to me. I'm doing a live transmission. We've just picked up signal from Simon Ekpa some 15 minutes ago. So it's a continuity of that program. At some point, we will allow you to come in and speak as well. But I will just give my brother, Goodsman, but please don't bring anybody in yet. because I'm still running the program by speaking, and I might speak for a couple of hours, but I'm going to give you, what's it called, as a co-host. But please don't allow anybody to speak yet. Let them listen until we are ready, then we will bring people in. But for now, we still have a lot to discuss. We didn't record the Twitter space in the afternoon, but if anybody missed that section, I've been able to. One thing I love about myself is when I do broadcast, especially when I have people speaking, I do use my phone quickly to do recording. So when Waziri, that Fulani man, was speaking, I have it with me. I've been trying to put it on Twitter. It's taking because of the network. It will eventually be there. It will be on all those social media platforms. And especially the Yorubas that are more targeting to say, look, I understand we have hatred with the Southeast. There's no problem with that, if that's what you believe. But our common enemy right now is somebody like Waziri. He's an APC guy, and I believe he's doing very well in the North by manipulating the Northerners that are Hausas, that are not educated. And he will probably wear, all these jalabia, he has a lot of money, and he's coming to a Twitter space to come and tell me, maybe you should listen. Look, we're not taking any calls for now. Please do not call. I won't take any calls for now. So I want us to listen to Waziri. We listen to Waziri again. We will listen to Abubakar, and then we would then continue from there. But one thing I want us to understand is, if Waziri can think like this on Twitter, are you thinking about those that are not on Twitter? What is the way they are thinking about us that is fighting for the right to self-determination? And those that keep saying that it seems I'm trying to favor the Biafra. Look, I told you again, Yoruba people, Emma stress around. Look, I live here. I'll be dealt with according to the law in this country. We will deal with anybody, even if it's Simon Ekpa, by the time we get to Yoruba nation. But I'm sure somebody like Simon Ekpa will not misbehave. He will set up a law firm in Yoruba land. He will pay tax. He will probably not abuse our system. But Yoruba people, criminals, yes, some of you have abused the British system. I understand, we are upset with the British by putting us together. Some of you had properties. When I came to this country in 1998, 5 properties, and you are only entitled to 1. Criminals. Don't come and tell me nonsense here. And we have some Igbo people that are criminals. Criminality is in everybody. English people are criminals. There's a couple now that they're looking for the child. They don't know where they put the child. Couple in this country. But not to waste our time, at exactly 8:27, we will continue to have our Twitter space running parallel to my program right now. And then we will also allow them to speak, just as you normally call into the program. So let's listen to the first video. It's about 9 minutes. I'm going to allow you to play all the way through. You will listen to the engagement between Simon Ekpa, this guy called Waziri that spoke to us, and the good man that was challenging him as well. Maybe you don't know. Let's go with it right now.
In this condition, I cannot answer this question. I cannot answer this question. You're just an idiot. Answer that question. My brother, we are not and things that you poison their mind and you think their mind are poison. I am a Nigerian and I love you. You are not a Nigerian. So if you don't I'm actually violent to our brothers and sisters, my brother. You share with you. You cannot succeed. Share with you. Mohammed, you are not a person. You are a wicked person. You cannot explain what is what is it? You open your mouth and talk rubbish. What do you know about Nigeria? About you want to Nigeria? You want to look Nigeria? If you don't want the Igbo nation, then why are you people hell-bent on being together with Igbos and Yorubas? Why can't they not stay alone? Why can't they not stay alone? If truly that you want to, you feel like you can do without the Igbos or the Yorubas.
Let's allow Simon to respond to him happily.
Because you people are parasites. Can you understand? He's here talking about unity with the Yoruba. Unity. You know what is, you know the thing that has scared them is what they see us with the Yorubas. They feel so frightened. That's why he's here. Oh, Simon is here to instigate the Yorubas against Nigeria. They are so scared. Now, Usman Afonio was the one who came from where? When he's here in Nigeria, he came and killed Hausa people, conquered them, and today you have Usman Afonio University. You have this one, I have this one. Each time you go to Arewa House, there is a picture of Usman Afonio and all of them there. And they are here talking about unity. Unity with what? With who? Let me tell you, Nigeria will go down the sea. Mark my own word. And that is the process we have started. We have allowed you to disgrace yourself in the name of election and all that. The next one now is we are the one taking the lead. And those who are saying that we allow people to make their choice and all that, you don't do that in a war. Nigeria is already out of war. In war, it does not matter the opinion of people. What matters is whatever is the strategy the people leading the war have for the best interest of the people. In Ukraine today, many people want to be in peace. Many people want to live at peace, but they cannot. They don't have that choice. That particular right has been taken away from them for national interest to save the millions of Ukrainians. The same thing is applicable to many indigenous people in Nigeria. So most of the decisions we are going to take going forward may also infringe the rights of some people. It is what has to be done to save the future from this demonic terrorists that are parading themselves in Abada. These people have nothing, absolutely nothing to offer. They are not interested in your future. They are not interested in development. They are not interested in innovation. They have absolutely nothing. Parasite is even an understatement. Because some parasites can drop blood and use it to do something for themselves. These guys are complete demonic and devilish. They have absolutely nothing to offer to anybody other than killing, conquering you, and turning you to whatever, Taliban and all that. Now, they come and they say, oh, we must be one Nigeria. Who told you that we must be one Nigeria? Were you consulted? Were you consulted before when Nigeria was formed? What we are saying is that when Nigeria was formed and amalgamated together, the people of Nigeria were not informed. They were not consulted. It was not a consensus of the entire ethnic group that formed Nigeria. And it is time to revisit that foundation. And we are going to revisit either by peace or in pieces.
Well, that is Simon Ekpa. We will cut that particular more section because the guy already spoke before we started recording. But this is the second part. This is Abubakar. He said he's from the north. His views around those that are campaigning, whether it's the Biafra or the Yorubas or the Ududua, regarding self-determination. Abubakar spoke. We were able to capture what he said. Again, his views will reflect the views of so many Hausas in the northern part of what is known in Nigeria today. This is Abubakar, and then we will come back. For those of you on the Twitter space, like I said, we are just running this program along line with my Twitter space, but at some point, we will allow you to speak. But for now, please bear with us and listen. And if you want to watch the program, you can join us on the platform. Somebody was asking about my super chat. Like I said, Facebook, YouTube has removed anything monetization on our platform, from the super chat to whatever. But that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Let's listen to Abubakar from the northern part of Nigeria that spoke to us this afternoon during koikimedia Twitter space.
On that, I want to agree with him. And let me just say this. I am from the north, and I'm a Hausa. Believe me, if you can interview the youth, we don't have problem with anybody who is willing to leave Nigeria and leave the country. I mean, the speaker, the spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum has made it clear that if Southeast or any part of Nigeria wants to go, they should be allowed to go without a bloodshed. Nobody wants to die for anything. Do you think as a youth in the north, I am happy to be called a terrorist or to be called a parasite when I am housing hundreds of thousands thousands of people in my own ancestral land? Who is feeding you with this false information? If you are really mean to go, you don't need to cause chaos. Recall your people back, talk to your representative, make an effort to exit the country. Nobody is looking for violence any longer. We can separate peacefully. I don't see Nigeria really one as a favor to me from the north. Just as it's not a favor to you from the east. The unity, the continuance of one Nigeria is for the unity and is for the benefit of all. And if everyone is tired, there should be a way to resolve it, even if it's by dividing the country. Let's divide peacefully. You don't have to call for violence. You don't have to do that. Other countries are separating peacefully. If this is the right way for everyone, let it happen. In the north today, none of the youth is ready to force you to stay with him. I'm speaking as a northerner, and I'm a Hausaman. If you think Muhammad is not Hausa was a Fulani, I am Hausaman. My name is Abubakar. I can translate, I can repeat everything I say using Hausa language. By the way, I know most of you. I did my NYSC in last year in Isialongo North local government. I was there for the whole 1 year. When I was doing my camp at Bende local government, I was told that there's a local government that they used to eat human being in the past. And unfortunately, I was giving my posting to that same local government. But in order for me to know the truth, I accepted to go there. I live in Isialongo area town. I can speak about Igbo. I know them, I know their culture, I have good friends. But the truth is that no Nigerian's blood should be shed simply because you don't want to remain. I speak as a northerner. If the Yoruba or the Igbo or anybody wants to call, let's find a peaceful way of dividing the country. You don't have to instigate a war. We have already been traumatized.
Okay, let's Abubakar, let Simon respond back.
Thank you very much, Abubakar. You see, that's the difference between Hausa and Fulani. Now, we don't do the let's come on the point. I know what I said. Allow me to not rest. You see, I am here. I'm listening to the older one call himself Wasiri, the comment he made, and then you are making this comment at your point, which is a very, very clear one. He is still praising and hailing you and clapping for you. And the people clapping for you, his own point clash with your own point. But yet, he is praising you. So this is the point now. You are two people from the north. You are from the outside tribe. He is from Fulani. Now he came here and said nobody should leave Nigeria, that Nigeria is not going to divide. And then we responded to him with the same language he came to address us. And now you came and you are speaking in a very civilized way, telling us that nobody should die, that if everybody wants to leave Nigeria, we have the right to leave. Then he is also clapping for you. And now he is clapping for you, saying that. So you see, that is the clash of interest, and that is the confusion that you see in the north. When somebody like you are addressing him now, addressing everybody, and it sounds very good mind, it sounds very civilized, he is clapping and agreeing with you, but at the same time, when he was saying his own opinion, he was saying Nigeria cannot divide, must be one. Now, to deal with this issue now, it has to start from the north. Because it is people like him that will tell you that there is nothing will make Nigeria to divide. While you, as an understandable person, as somebody that is educated, you see that it is going to even benefit the north. In fact, this whole division of Nigeria is going to benefit everybody. It's for the best interest of every people. It is the reason why Europeans divided along tribal line. It is the reason why most of the European countries are progressing. Because what? They discovered that they could not progress because of their diversity, and they have to divide along tribal line, and then also progressing. So when we talk about the division of Nigeria, the north, the yellow thing that it is for their disadvantage, it's a lie. This Fulani man think it's for their disadvantage, it's a lie. It is only going to create room for them to develop, even compete with other nations. I'm just saying. Let me respond to this. No, please give me 1 minute. Let me respond to this. The issue is this. Right now we have a representational government and constitutional democracy. You may not agree with the system, but for now that's what's at hand. You have representative. If truly this is the position of the Igbos, the Indigo as a general, what stopped them from, advancing this cause in the National Assembly? Until now, listen. Now we have to vote. None of them. Can I address you? Because now you have deviated. Any mortal that is coming to tell our representative is not it means that you are not genuine. You are not telling yourself the truth. Because you know that Nigeria is structured. I am going to explain it now. You know that Nigeria is structured in a way. Nigeria is structured in a way to disenfranchise and humanize and enslave certain ethnic group. Now, with the structure of Nigeria, you cannot ask me to tell senators or ask a representative member from the Southeast to come to Abuja to National Assembly and start agitating for Biafra. You know it is not possible. They're going to be killed. And when they get killed, you cannot say anything about it. And nobody can do anything about it. A lot of people have been killed just for agitating. Talk more of a representative you voted to go to the National Assembly and start talking about Biafra. So can someone encourage to do that because of the structure of Nigeria, which is evil. Now, talking about going to the National Assembly, how many people do you have from the Northeast? How many people do you have from the Northwest? How many people do you have from the North Central? That representing those areas. Okay. Can I answer you now? At the National Assembly. Yes, you can answer me, but let me finish that. Just before you answer me. Now, each time they tell us, let us tell the people representing us. Because the system has corrupted them, and the system is terrorizing them. Then nobody can summon courage to go to the National Assembly and demand for any constitutional amendment, not even constitutional amendment, but to Biafra. So how do you handle that? If you are really sincere to yourself, it is not asking me that I have only 13 people at the National Assembly to tell my representative to go and you face 59 of 113 people from the North. And how are we going to manage that? Secondly, Nigeria don't have rule of law. So if you go and somebody becomes a scapegoat, you go and start asking for referendum at the National Assembly, and he comes out, he gets assassinated by military, not even by terrorists, but military. Who is going to speak for the family? The person is gone. That's the problem. So the problem is something that the solution has to come from the northern Nigeria. And the core, the issue of the crisis that we need to either war, and then we are going to come to the table as maybe suggested by the international community. Because the structure of Nigeria now is so devilish, so demonic that nobody can summon courage serving under Nigeria, elected under Nigeria institution that will go to the National Assembly and start preaching for division. And you understand this very well. So the question I want to ask you now, apart from going to the National Assembly to seek for redress of this Nigeria Union, which you agree with me when I say that Nigerians were not consulted, you agree. So now that you agree that Nigeria was not consulted, is there any other way that this whole issue of division can come to the table without going through the representative that doesn't represent the interest of the people? That's the question I will ask you. Because it is always the North. When we talk, people say, tell us what to do. You don't need, listen, listen, you don't have to keep, shifting blame to the North. No, I will have to. That's the point. You don't have this far. You don't have this far. You know why the blame will always go to the North? Because of the structure of Nigeria. From the beginning, North have benefited more. From the beginning, the British rigged the election, the first election in Nigeria, they rigged it in favor of the North. So indirectly and directly, they handed over to yes, the British. Okay. So, yes, and now, because of the terrorism that they used against the British in those days, because we have the fact they were attacking them and they were killing each other, and because of that particular terrorism they used against the British rulership there, they fear them and they praise them more than us that are peaceful. So for that reason, when the first election took place, they rigged it in favor of Northern Nigeria. And that has actually shaped the Nigeria that we see today. That has helped this stability that we see happening today. So if anything is going to happen, it has to also come from the north. But that's why whatever the south do, they will always go to the north to get a blessing. And that must stop. With that kind of structure, we are going nowhere. So if you want to, and whenever, and many people understand this very well, it's like, you understand this what I'm saying very well. That's the reason why whenever we talk about this solution, you tell us to go to our representative. When you know that our representatives are more allergic to the north than even to the people they represent. So the question I want to ask you now is that, what else do you think can be done apart from going asking our representative to go to the National Assembly, which you know it is not possible? For me, if that's a question to me, I believe in the power of representation. I don't believe there is anything impossible. There is no representation. You are telling yourself the truth. You ask me a question, I want me to respond. You get the truth. I have 50 minutes. I said, what else? I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. You claim you don't want to waste life. You don't want to waste blood. Nobody wants to waste blood. Nobody wants to waste life. But you people are the one wasting life. Exactly. For me, you are the one wasting our blood from the house. So go ahead. No. Man, come on. In my own grandfather's house. Listen to me. In my own grandfather's house. I grew up with Igbo family. They are still there. Yes. Can you say the same thing? Can you say the same thing? Yes. In my own grandfather's house, I grew up with a family of people. They are still there. We never had a quarrel. So, don't you know that in any city, in Igbo land, you have what we call Obansa. I'm telling you, the second. I'm telling you now the part of my own that give land to Hausa people. Yes. Where they live. So it is the same. So the question I'm asking you now is what does the it's wrong for you. I cannot
well, so all these was going on during the Twitter space this afternoon. Welcome back once again to those of you that have joined us. Mo kí gbogbo yín èèyàn wa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá àtẹ̀yìntẹ̀ wà níta. Mo kí gbogbo wa pátápátá. Well, the argument you probably won't understand because you were not on the Twitter space. We had two individuals that joined us during our Twitter space. One named Mohammed Waziri that believes that the Nigerian must stay together and live together, even though the marriage is killing one particular ethnic groups, and one ethnic groups is using, the opportunity given to them by the British in the 60s to manipulate the others. While the second one that you're just listening to is Abubakar, an Hausa man. He believes that we have the right to, have this integration, but he doesn't want a bloodshed. But he's telling us to speak to our representative. He's actually telling us to go and speak to our representative so that we can use that opportunity to dissolve out of Nigeria. So that is actually what is going on for those of you that probably got lost in that audio clip. Once again, a very good evening. This is Koikimedia, where we continue to tell Nigerians, should you remain Nigeria? Look at the headline. For those of you that are listening to us, if you want to see the full video of what is going on right now, you will have to be either on my Twitter or probably the YouTube or the other platforms where we are also streaming. We appreciate those of you that have joined us on the Mix LR. And Daniel says, Awusa did anything story about Nigeria. I'm not sure what you want to put out there. Maybe Allow Baba Eshegoni, and also Comrade Plan B. You say, I give it to Simon Ekpa. And good evening once again. Muki Bubua, Muki Yawadumileki. I've not seen my mom on the platform yet. I believe she's been so busy and engaged. We spoke after the Twitter space, but I'm sure she will join us. You will be able to call in, but let me have another 15 minutes into the conversation. Those of you on the Twitter, you'll be able to come in as well and speak, but please bear with us. We speak a lot of Yoruba as we also speak English because our listeners are not just English. We are targeting our Yoruba people. These Yoruba people, we still they think the Igbo wants to take Lagos from them, yet they want to be in Nigeria. And nobody knows that as the constitution stands right now, you have the right to be anywhere in Nigeria. But when America is saying that they want to reduce immigration, they decided to build a big, borders so that people coming from Mexico will not penetrate into America. Why do you think they're doing such? Why do you think the British is now moving? They're changing their immigration laws. Very soon, those of you coming to study, believe it's a master program. You will not be able to bring your family. It's becoming a body to the British system. So it is called control of their borders. By Yoruba nation, Catholic control border, but right now it is free for flow. And as long as they are there, are you not thinking about the Chinese? To create a havoc. Let's look at this headline. We had in a conversation, you listen to people, you take notes. I've told you that in Yoruba, you must continue to have pen and paper when you're sitting on this platform because there will be enough things to write down. We also appreciate Kayaga. I'm not sure what country Kayaga is, but she's not a Nigerian, but she's an African that spoke very well. And I did a recording of her as well, which we're going to post. You can check her out at Lady Kayaga. She spoke very, very well. There was another brother that spoke that led us to this conversation. Not every news you see, Google News can you marry. But I want you to look at this headline that I have in front of me on the screen. And it says, South Africa and Nigeria put on anti-money laundering grey list. Global Watch says Africa's two biggest economies need to do more to fight financial crime. Who they commit this crime? Shey na the man wey dey sell pepper for my abule Ekpa, or the one wey dey Ijebu-Ode, or the one wey dey Imo, Enugu, or is it the wicked that moves money so that we don't know where the money is? Or is it the Peter Obi that kept his money in Pandora that eventually we have to know that he has some money, sitting somewhere because they don't want to pay too much tax. So they move the money around. But the average Nigerians will pay the price of this kind of result. So those of you that you saw one Nigeria, oh, she's from Botswana. Okay, thank you so much. Somebody says they believe she's from Botswana. She spoke very, very well. Kayaga is from Ethiopia. Okay, maybe, but she's somewhere. Thank you so much, Babawa. So when we are talking about Nigeria, they give you this impression Nigeria is the biggest Africa. They must you listen to all this nonsense, but in reality, the indigenous people, the people on the ground, have never enjoyed Nigeria in the last 63 years, if I'm right. So all we have witnessed is criminalities of suppressing the people. But Nigerians that would like to get to South Africa also remember that the two countries have now also been added to another bad list or blacklisted. And today, according to the Global Watch, remember that Nigeria has so much, catalog of wahala, uniloritele. The capital poverty, even the toilet around the world, Nigeria is taking more than India. But Aida and Safunpe, Yoruba nation is the only option. Tani, and so we know. Yeah, that guy gave us a history. I'm not sure I wrote his name down, but we appreciate him, and I'm sure he will join us again in one of our broadcasts. But he was the one that pointed us to this article, which is on the Financial Times. And the Financial Times, for those that know, these are those that control our system from outside. Even though we know that we should probably not be on that list, because when you look at the criminality that is going on in so many other industries around the world that is coming into Nigeria. But because for their own selfish gain, who is going to be affected? Now that Nigeria and South Africa, I'm going to focus on Nigeria because that's where we are from, according to what we are told, even though that's a complete lie. Who takes the bigger burden of this kind of article or this kind of narrative? Nigeria is now put on the anti-money laundering grey list. Let's read it. Africa's two largest economies have been put on warning by the global anti-money laundering watchdog over shortfall in combating illicit finance and organized crime. The Paris-based Financial Action Task Force, even though we know France has done much damage, that we should be countering them now to say they are the biggest criminals. But because we have seen them as, good people, the good guy, but Simon Ekpa is the bad guy, IGBOHO is the bad guy, koikimedia is the bad guy. But when you see Macron, which is we're almost the same age mate, putting on his suit, Macron can dictate to me, but I cannot come and, I'm not dictating to anybody, but I can tell you that Yoruba nation, say, shut up. Oh, the joke see London, come and Yoruba nation, come back home. But Macron, that is not even up to 45, leading the whole of France, making decision, either favors Nigeria, either favors the African countries that colonize, like Benin Republic. I've been to Benin Republic, and almost everything they use in that country is coming from France, including the food, and some other countries as well. So my question to those of you that are listening to us is, ta ló ní, báwo ṣe put it out? Ṣé ìyá tó ń ta ata nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ń jí owó ni? Who is actually moving the money out of Nigeria? But those of you now that would want to apply for a visa to go to France will be rejected because they believe that you are part of the criminality or the criminal. Let's continue. The Paris-based, why is it that I don't have a Yoruba nation and I make decision to say that Yoruba-based Financial Action Task Force is looking into France for disturbing the peace of other African countries? They don't want you to have such opportunity, because we should be making such decision in the future. We are not taking calls. I'm not sure why this individual keeps calling. Please, we're not taking calls yet. I told you earlier. Let's listen to the broadcast. Kí ló dé tí we can't have a Biafra nation as an example as well? And they say Biafra-based Financial Action Task Force is looking into all the atrocity committed by some of what France have done in other African countries. They don't want such. But it is easy to put every one of us into this bracket of Nigeria, even though we know that in Nigeria, yes, we have criminals among every ethnic group. But why don't we just break the shithole country and put it into where we know who is moving the money, and we can deal with them even before the international community wants to deal with them? Do you know the amount of money that penetrates into Nigeria and doesn't come back? How did all the money that is now returned from Abacha wealth outside? Is because this money were part of the resources that were taken right from every part of either the southeast or the northwest or the southwest or the whatever, and the money doesn't come back, most especially the crude oil. So this was something that is just coming out, I believe, last week Friday. The Paris-based Financial Action Task Force said on Friday that it was placing South Africa and Nigeria on its grey list of countries that needed to do more to improve their ability to fight financial crime, exposing them to greater scrutiny by investors and banks around the world. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣàlàyé ilé ìfún èèyàn ọmọ Yorùbá, maybe tí kò bá yé yín, because I know all this big English is a big problem. I'm going to break it down as much as I can in Yoruba language. Ṣẹ́rí, ó fẹ́ run business ní Nàìjíríà nísìn, ó wá ń wá bó ṣe fẹ́ gba big loan níta. The probability pé ó máa rówó yẹn gbà okay, let me not even say loan because you probably won't get a loan, but investors kan wá. The investors is not from France, but let's say the investors is from South Korea. The first thing the investor will look up to say, which country do you want me to come and do the business? This thing, we get people with the Yoruba land, you are telling somebody, you live in South Korea, you don't live in Nigeria, but you want to do business, you want to make money, everybody wants to make money. So you end up trying to tell this businessman or this investor or this organization that is probably set up and they are making sure that wherever they want to go and invest, they are not also going to become, they are not going to be thrown into a country like what we are discussing right now. The first thing this investor will be looking at, not this, trade by each other, you're buying a car from another Yoruba man in South Korea. No, we're talking about a bigger organization that you want to bring to Nigeria. Do you think that with this black list or gray list or whatever they're calling it, do you think this investor is going to come and invest in Nigeria, in your own state? They won't come down because Nigeria is already on this gray list. Let's continue. The Paris-based, I'm just moving a little bit backwards again. The Paris-based Financial Action Task Force said on Friday that it was placing South Africa and Nigeria on its grey list of countries that needed to do more to improve their ability to fight financial crime, exposing them to greater scrutiny by the investors and the banks around the world. According to facts, actions can strongly affect how the financial probity of countries is perceived. The G7 created body can ultimately blacklist banking system over serious deficiencies in stopping money laundering and terrorist financing. I want us to take a look at that word. Let's even leave the money laundering, which is a criminal itself. Let's talk about the terrorist financing. Remember that Dubai was pushing the narrative that there is terrorist financing from their country to Nigeria, and they were able to indicate these individuals. Every one of them are from the northern part of Fulanis. They are not Yorubas, they are not Igbos, and they've been sentenced. Up to today, the Nigerian government have not been able to tell us who are those in Nigeria that should also be going to prison. Maybe it's Bubu, dead or alive. Maybe it's Abba Kyari that is now being protected from not going to America. But the Yoruba man, the criminal one, that a lot of you love so much on Instagram, Hush Puppy, hey, Hush Puppy, is now being in the prison. But Abba Kyari is still being protected by the same criminality. So the word terrorist financing is a big crime on its own. Nigeria is already in the bracket of terrorist country. So the more tabak person in Nigeria, come back home. I don't need to come back to the shithole country that has even been labeled black. I don't want to use they use blacklist, which shouldn't even be, because black is beautiful, but the way these people look at us. And you want me to come back to the messed up country. Thank you so much, Best TikTok. Once again, this is a live transmission coming up to 3 minutes past 9 p.m. Tuesday, February 28, 2023, as we continue to say, Yoruba Nation, white list, yes. Thank you so much, African Confidential. Moki Yawa Omolara Momo. I love her each time I see the comment with the way we can fight on the, with some of these idiotic people that say, come back home. I don't know, come back home to do what? So, let's move swiftly. South Africa is only the second G20 economy. So Nigeria is not even there. After Turkey to have been added to the fat grey list. The United Arab Emirates, Albania, those countries, Yemen, terrorist area, are also among those grey lists. Only 3 countries, Iran, North Korea, and Myanmar. Myanmar is a very, very bad country, running a lot of, they're suppressing their citizens as well, are blacklisted. The watch list does not technically call for greater due diligence of countries. And by the time I give you this article, I'm now going to take you back to a special report that we're going to use the video from how Chinese destroy Osun community, illegal mining gold. We have a king, we have House of Representatives, we have senator, we have a governor, but yet China that you should be talking about is destroying Osun community. Mumu people, now Igbo people in the fight, idiots. How come Chinese was able to destroy our community, move our resources? You will listen to that video. Thank you so much to somebody that gave us the title yesterday in the broadcast. We'll come back to that. But let's finish this article that I'm going to share as well later. It's on the Financial Times, and you can just type in the headline that says South Africa and Nigeria put on anti-money laundering grey list. So let's look at the final part of this article. Once again, we appreciate those of you that are listening to us on the Twitter space. I know this is not the kind of Twitter space you normally see. You want to interact, we will give you that opportunity. But for now, bear with us. And as soon as I'm ready, good man, we'll start bringing you in. And we'll probably take 2 Twitter, 1 phone call. We'll probably run this program for on maximum 2 hours. So bear with us. There will be ample of time for everybody to interact. So let's go back again. So, yeah.
Sorry for the interjection.
That's okay.
And good man, the person that you bring him down and bring him back. Peter have kicked him out. He's just here, but he cannot do anything.
Who do you want me to bring back?
And good man, take him down, then you bring him back.
Okay.
He cannot do anything now.
Okay. So, okay, I've removed you. I've removed you, and then I'm going to add you back. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, remove good man and bring him back.
I've just done that now. Let me know if it's okay. And if it's not, I'll do it again. And we appreciate those of you that have joined us on the Twitter space. Thank you so much, good man. So let's quickly finish this article because people are waiting to respond to some of what we are looking into. So now, the watch list does not technically call for greater due diligence of countries named, but in practice, banks and investors can often subject affected transactions to more scrutiny. So even as a businessman like Yoruba man, I get £1 billion I want transfer. They're asking me whether it's for terrorism or whether it's for money laundering. These are reasons why we should not stay in a country called Nigeria again. Also, cost the trouble economics of Africa, and Nigeria can ill afford. South Africa banks have already said they have strengthened controls to mitigate the effect of the grey listing. Importantly, the cost of increased monitoring will be substantially lower than the long-term cost of allowing South Africa's economy to be contaminated by flow of proceeds of crime and corruption, the South African Treasury said on Friday. Let me remind you that every of these shipping container that comes to Nigeria is another cartel. That's another different article we can look into later on, not today. The crude oil coming out of Nigeria is not a small business. It's not the man trying to make living in Ojota or in a trade fair, selling wurubu, or somebody doing a good business in Computer Village. The crude oil is involved with our politicians and government outside. And Nigeria grey listing comes just a day before it holds presidential and parliamentary elections after cash shortage linked to measures to prevent vote buying have been hitting economic activity. So now, let me take us straight to the video, which we are using. It doesn't belong to us. I won't play all this video. It's just for us to get a bit of it from TBC, and then we will continue with the program.
Osun State is one of many local government areas in Nigeria where gold and other minerals are found in large quantity. Over the years, foreign miners, especially the Chinese, have invaded the community, destroyed farmlands, polluted water bodies with mercury and lead, thereby endangering the health of people. On the 15th of January 2022, TVC News crew, led by Nelson Ekpa, visited Akure Ijesha and brought back this report.
Again, dárúkọ pé Igbo people destroyed Osun, taking gold and other natural resources. They mentioned Chinese. On the 15th of January 2022, when the world was just settling into a new year, TVC News crew set out for a journey to Osun State. Our destination is Atorejesha. In Atakomosa East local government area of the Southwest State. The mission was to unravel the mystery behind the operation of illegal gold mining. For the benefit of those that are not seeing the video, let me just give you a graph of what the video looks like. Imagine you have a land and they've damaged the land, suck everything out of it. There was, you know, when you are trying to steal something and you want to take it as quickly as possible. That is what is happening on this video. And if you want to see the video as we are playing this live broadcast, you'll have to go to koikimedia on YouTube. I go back again. Like I said, I won't use too much of this video because my YouTube has just come back and we don't want it to go down again. So at least you can go on YouTube and watch it yourself. But let's just play another 8 minutes out of it, and that's how far I can take it. Don't ask me to play more because my platform is very heavy, and if it goes down for a week, it has a big impact in this movement. And refined by foreign nationals, particularly some Chinese. They didn't mention Igbo people. They said particularly Chinese. Okay, there's just an advert coming. We're going to take that out and we'll play another 30 seconds. And let's go back again. And they're now showing the pictures of the Chinese. Mining and refining thrive in Osun State, one of the states in Nigeria with a large deposit of the precious metal. You hear that? One of the most places that have gold in Nigeria, Osun State. Not Zamfara gold, Zamfara gold is for Zamfara people. So when we say Yoruba nation, shut up, come back home. No, you have a king that sit down there and allow them to take your natural resources. And let me say, I have evidence, and I'm not joking, but for security of this individual, evidence of gold moved out of Nigeria. I won't go into too much details. They go on the aircraft. I have the picture of the gold. I have the picture of when they weigh them. I have details, invoice, and this gold are brought into not too much information, but by CBN from Yoruba land, and they are moving them out on a weekly basis. When the right time comes, like I said, we will release those images. But for now, if I do so, they'll pick up my source. It has become a corrupt den involving highly placed officials from the federal, state, to local government levels, as well as residents and families in Atorejesha. And the idiotic Yoruba man sit down there shouting, come back home. Somebody is challenging them. I don't want to play too much of the video. Don't get angry because of my platform. It's just come back only yesterday. We were off for almost a week. If you want to watch the full clip, please go on the YouTube TVC special report, How Chinese Order Destroy Osun Community. I'm going to allow a good man to now speak from the Twitter space. Please speak swiftly, and then we're going to start taking calls from here. So, but we give him opportunity to speak first. Moki Bubomo Yoruba. When our people call, please sometimes they will speak Yoruba. We're trying to, translate to you. Just as if you go to China or Russia, they don't care about English. They will have a translator. Even the case of Ike Kirimadu, do you know that the young boy doesn't speak English? I've been told he's been speaking Igbo. So in the court, which is still allegation, because I live there, so I have to be careful with the way we talk about that case. I can say that the young boy, or the man, because not a boy, they found out he's no longer a boy from the new update, but he's not speaking English. So they have to do translation in the court. So when my people call, I cannot force them to speak English. If they want to speak Yoruba, they will speak Yoruba. I will do my best to translate. Go ahead quickly, good man, and then we'll start taking calls from here. That's exactly 14 minutes past. So we still have about 2 hours to play with. Go ahead. Okay, I'm not sure if he's still with us. It seems he's having problem.
Koikimedia, it's like a good man is having a...
All right, you go, a console. All right, you go ahead. We'll wait until he comes back. You go ahead, the console for the time being.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, my brother. I'm koikimedia for
You're welcome.
on your space. I was here when the space was going on. That was this person was trying to correct some impressions on this one mindset on our brothers. Now, and I want to make one thing that from the menace that we find ourselves. I want to say that thank God today. I want to thank God because for the privilege of media that in this 21st century, media is available even to 10-year-old child that you can know what is happening around. It wasn't like this in the days. I think that the media was there in the early days and that the NTA which contributed almost 99.9 problem that we are struggling with today. I think they started early because they are the only TV channel that I can remember those days that my father would go and who will come and gather at the start of the watch. I think they started early to tell our father the truth and look at what is happening. These people that you're watching, they're not actually representing you in the international community. They are representing themselves. It's a question that we begin to know and understand that some money that was looted by Abacha are still being returned to Nigeria for many years now, and they're still returning the Abacha. There are a lot that have looted our church to drive the Western world, but we cannot know about them. We did not even know, we didn't have any clue about those things, not until the media was made public for us, made accessible for us, that we begin to access those things. And the history that was denied us is media that made it possible that we know what happened in the Israel land when you were not born. That I was able to access the things that happened in the other land when I was not born. That I was able to access how the houses were conquered by the Fulani's. All these things are the works of me. And I want to tell our people and the other ones that we should not continue to anchor our faith on this contraction, quotation 419. Let me use your phrase, my brother. I love that name that we give this contraction. Quotation 419. That we shouldn't anchor our faith in this place. This contraction is a place that you cannot plant your destiny and expect it to grow. You cannot plant your destiny in Nigeria and expect it that in the next 10 years, the next 15 years, in the next 20 years, that this is what you want to see your life look like. Not in Nigeria. If you plant your destiny here, your destiny will die a natural death. If the Nigerian government did not snatch the destiny away from you by taking away your life, they will so frustrate your life, you and your education. If you cannot tingle yourself with their control, with their evil, they will frustrate you to the extent that you will start looking for a way to run away from this country. That is how a lot of people are resisting this place. But it pains me that in this whole thing and flaring for us, that this place is irreparable, that you cannot believe it, irredeemable. This place is culture that Nigeria and the foundation in which Nigeria is built on. You cannot retain Nigeria. You cannot regain Nigeria. The only way to regain the white indigenous persons is for us to go back to our ethnic nationalities. For Oduduwa to be the kingdom that it used to be, the proud Oduduwa kingdom that is still respected in Germany in those days, still respected in London in those days, when they go there for tourism, for visitation, they were being respected because they have a rich culture. I want to go back and that Biafra that my fathers know, that my fathers lived in, that even them and the good ones are not fighting, them and the little girls are not fighting. Nobody is fighting each other, not until this contraction and organization of 1914 was instituted. A catastrophe set in in this comparison that I begin to see my Ojukwu brother as my enemy, that my Ojukwu brother begin to see me as his enemy, that the middle belt begin to see both the Ojukwu and the Biafrans as their enemy. We want to return back to our days. We want to go back home. That is what we are clamoring for. You have seen their election. If you like to do it 100 times over, you can never get a credible election in Nigeria. If you like to do it the last 100 years, credible election is not, will never be ascertained in Nigeria. Right. This is what AGBOHO is preaching. This is what koikimedia is preaching. This is what Mazen Africana has preached over the years. This is what Samoneba is preaching. All these guys are good guys that are preaching for the freedom of their people.
Thank you so much.
So, my brothers, let's line up with whatever that they are telling us. Thank you, my brother, koikimedia.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hold on. Etiwole, hold on. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ikon. Ikonzo, for starting us on the Twitter space. We now have a caller as well. Hello, caller. Etiwale Risto.
Hello, Mr. Koiki.
Yeah.
Emma Pinuturi alone. Two of my programs, the Bible Lord, Eric making terrorize me pẹ̀lú call. Betale yìí, ó fẹ́ pass information kan, tó fẹ́ kẹ́yìn náà dey further expose and express to our people. Check get me, sir.
I'm going. Okay, hold on. Hold on, can I go further? Share information because I'm sure you know I'm live. Is it something? I know it's about 32 missed call. I know that, yeah. Go ahead. All right. Okay. Yes. Good evening to my beautiful mother. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. No. It's okay. No problem. I'm going.
Igbo, no be Igbo people wey Lagos State o. Ọmọ Yorùbá náà máa lọ bá wọn jà. Torí mo jẹ́ platform wọ́n fẹ́ máa bá wọn jà, wọ́n fẹ́ máa gbá gidi kó fẹ́ gba bó wọn aṣọ àníkàn. Torí bẹ́ẹ̀ o, láti jọ Saturday yẹn tẹ̀ get better.
Yeah.
Before Yorùbá nation as a politician.
Okay.
We máa follow politics more. Gbogbo 20 local government of Lagos State, which was finally converted to 57 local government this and that. Gbogbo bẹ̀ ni mo touch láti jọ Saturday yẹn. Ọmọ Igbo kan ní problem wa o. Tó gba Èkó fún Labour. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ fi ṣe ṣóògùn tó bá possible Mr. Quick. Ètò pàtẹ fún yín. Ọmọ Igbo kan ló gba Èkó fún wa o. Tí Labour fi defeat Aṣíwájú o.
Okay.
Màá tó gbà fún wa.
Mo gbọ́ yín.
Àwọn ọmọ wa ẹni sáà, àwọn náà dúró tán pé we must chase these people that lost 2020 out. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ fi ṣe show.
Okay.
Pé Yorùbá ò ní problem pẹ̀lú Igbo fẹ́ gbalẹ̀ bàbá wa o. Àwọn ọmọ tó pa ẹ̀mú pé Yorùbá máa ń pòwe. Wọ́n ní àgékù odò ó máa ń ṣòro. Àwọn ọmọ tó pa ń gbà yẹn bọ̀ pa tó wọ́n ti gé èmú APC àti Tinubu àti Sanwó-Olú. Àwọn ẹ̀rọ bójú wọn jẹ́ o. Ẹni pé tẹ́yìn fúnra yín Mr. Quick ẹ bá mọ́nítọ̀ election yẹn nítorí tí mo mọ́nítọ̀ ẹni pé gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ wọlé sí àwọn Labour àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá máa ń lé wọn pa ni. Dípé you know dey treat Yorùbá you no fit enter here. Na only APC fit vote here. Àwọn ọmọ wa public pé wọ́n jẹ́ ìkọ̀kọ̀ tó pakù yẹn àwọn náà rẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ni náà against wọn. Dípé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ pa wá nípa ọ̀rẹ́ ká fún yín fòtì ókè àmàlọ́ púpọ̀ mi àmà tẹ̀sí nínú. nǹkan mo fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣe show. Kò ṣe pé Igbo ní problem wa ní Lagos State o. Torí pé mo ti ibi tí mo lọ́ọ̀bù ló yẹn dé, mo ti pe àwọn tèmi kọ̀ọ̀kan lókè pòpò, Agarawu, àtọmọ́dá area. Wọ́n jẹ́ kí n máa mọ̀ yí pé àwọn ọmọ Igbo yẹn ló wọlé pàtẹ tó fi dé Kẹjà. Torí pé Yorùbá ti tájú wọn pé àwọn náà jojú àwọn irọ́ o. Àwọn ọmọ EndSARS ìdí òkúnú wọn, àwọn náà rebellion ara wọn against APC. Ìpè ẹ̀yìn tẹ́ pa wá. Tẹ ló ń pẹ́ kápẹ́kẹ́ dìbò fún yín. Nǹkan bí ẹ ti máa mo fẹ́ tẹ̀lé ilé ṣó ó yí àwọn èèyàn wa yìí pé ó ṣe Igbo ló fẹ́ gba Lagos State. Àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n pa tán, àwọn náà bèrè fẹ́ tọ̀ wọ́n. Wípé we continue this way. Àwọn ọmọ yẹn náà dìbò ẹni pé wọ́n jẹ́ kí dìbò. In fact, mo rí so many kọjá yìí. Mo rí so many places tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti náà wọ́n ní vote. Igbo kan ló jẹ́ kí pépà wọlé lẹ́kọ̀ọ́. Àwọn ọmọ náà build right wọn lórí EndSARS, àwọn náà dìde tán. Ṣé ẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ṣe? Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ fi ṣe tí ò fẹ́ ká ọmọ Yorùbá mọ̀ tó ń fẹ́ máa bára wọn jà pẹ̀lú Igbo.
No problem.
Àti Yorùbá máa ń pọ̀.
Okay. I should program the lórí. Mute background and don't tell me see. Hold on. Hola kan wà on mo kàn gbé wọlé for now. Ẹ ṣé gan ni Mr. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Alabi. Thank you so much. And and yes, we believe that is a payback that has happened. We have another caller. After this caller, we come into the Twitter space and take the next person. And the next person that's going to speak is Rito. So prepare your mind after this caller. Hello, caller. It's our live on KOKORO as we continue our campaign. Yes, sir.
Nǹkan tí mo kàn fẹ́ fi kún ètò yòówù ni pé ẹ̀kọ́ pé mo máa ń sọ gbogbo ìgbà. Mo máa ń sọ fún yín pé kò sí peaceful exit ní Nàìjíríà. Kò sí bí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá máa gbọ́ lẹ́nu. Kò sí peaceful exit kankan ní Nàìjíríà.
Mo kí yàrá mi tẹ́lẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Fúlàní yóò ní fi yín sílẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ lọ bọ̀. Ṣé eré ìtọ́ ara ṣe ń jọ Sátọ̀dé? Àbíjọ́ Friday tí wọ́n kọ́ àwọn àmì ìtọ́jẹ́ tẹ̀ máa rí wọn yẹn. Wọ́n ṣọ́ ọ̀fọ̀ ìdílé. Wọ́n fi hàn yín pé wípé o káwọn kó ìpayà káwọn kó ìbẹ̀rù bá yín owó nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe. Torí tí Yorùbá ti ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní gbé àwọn èèyàn wọn láti káàdì. Gbogbo àwọn mílítírì ìtẹ́rí yẹn wọ́n ń ṣe Nigerian sójà. Kò sí èyí tó gbọ́ Yorùbá ní wọn àbí Igbo. Fúlàní láti cháàjì ní gbogbo wọn. Mo bẹ ẹ̀rọ ẹ̀yìn ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́yìn. Ó máa ń sọ kí ní kọ̀ọ̀kan ní mi ò wá fọwọ́ pa èèyàn kankan lórí. Ẹni tí ò bá fẹ́ kú kò ní di ilé bàbá ẹ̀. Wọ́n ti ń pa wọ́n ọ̀rẹ́ dì. Ìjọ òrà tó fẹ́ gbọ́. Àdúgbò ẹ dìde ètò tó bá ti bẹ̀ tó bá ti pa Yorùbá kan. Ẹ wọ mákẹ́ẹ̀tì kan níbi táwọn tó kóra ẹran jọ sí ilé ẹ̀pa wọn. Ìdá àwọn la fi ń pa wọn. Ẹ pa wọn. Kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan kan lọ́fíìyàn kankan. Ó ń pa yín. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ṣe Ọlọ́run ṣàánú wa. Ọlọ́run ò ní fàkalẹ̀ wá bá yín tò ó. Nǹkan tá a rí fún yín ní fún yín ò dáa. Bí ẹ̀ bá tètè ya jára yín gbà wọ́n á pa gbogbo yín tó débi pé di ẹrú lẹ̀ bàbá yín. Ẹ máa di ẹrú lọ́nà kàyí. You guys will become slave. Àwọn Igbo ti rẹ́dì. Àwọn Yorùbá ojú kòkòrò wọ̀ bí àwọn ló ń ba ayé wa jẹ́. Wọ́n ba ayé yín jẹ́ for 62 years. Wọ́n ní Tinubu fẹ́ wọlé ẹ̀sìn táyẹ̀ ló ń dìbò fún. Ẹ wá ní Igbo ló fẹ́ ṣe kíní kan. Igbo kọ̀ọ̀kan ló fẹ́ gba Èkó. Igbo ò gba Èkó kọ̀ọ̀kan mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́. Igbo ń ṣe bísíǹsì ẹ̀ ni. Ó dẹ̀ rẹ́ǹtì ilé. Igbo rẹ́ǹtì ilé. Wọ́n ń ṣe bísíǹsì wọn. Wọ́n ò pa èèyàn kankan. Wọ́n ò bá èèyàn kankan jà. Fúlàní tó ń wọnú gbé lọ pa yín àwọn ní kẹ́ fọ́kọ̀sì lé lórí. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí wọ́n yí orí yín. Wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé ọmọ Yorùbá tó bá ti sọ pé báyìí ẹ̀yin náà ti ẹ bá máa tẹ̀lé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Thank you so much.
What? Fúlàní ní pírọ́blẹ̀mù yín wọ́n ti dé
and also Chinese we should. Emabino, I have to let you go, my brother. I love you so much. Mokiyawa Temi, thank you to the last two caller. Austin, good evening. Mel Oludare, JP. I now know what is meaning of JP. I think it's people that travel to Jerusalem. Yekini Mustafa. Let's come now and speak to Rito on the Twitter space. Go ahead, unmute yourself. We'll bring all of you in as well. I know there's more requests, but we will try and make sure that under 2-3 minutes, please, do your submission. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, my brothers. Good morning, good night, from wherever you are.
I've done that. I've done that already.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my brothers and my sisters, from wherever you are listening to. I'm an Igbo man, I'm a Biafra man, I'm a full Biafra man. All those things these politicians are doing are just to put us in a danger, a big danger. So we really need to escape from this danger zone. I told many of my friends that Peter Obi is my brother, but I know it's going nowhere. All these things have been planned for years. Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu have lectured us very, very well. So we have known all these people, and all the things they say went exactly how they said it. So there is nothing much we can do about all these things. All those people are killers, they are murderers, they are bloodsuckers. So we can't defeat them. Anything concerning Nigeria can't be possible. It's better everybody should go, Duduwa should go, and Biafra should go, and Ariwa should go, so that peace can reign in the country. So everybody will have peace. I'm from Imo State, I'm from Imo State. There was no election conducted on that 25th of February, but everyone was calm. No movement, nothing. But later, INEC brought out some pieces of stuff they posted on Twitter and Instagram or many social media platforms to show that there was election conducted. But there wasn't something like that in Imo State. Besides, I'm from Olo precisely, so there was nothing like that here. But later they came up with something. So it's better everybody should go. This is all I have to say. Thank you everybody.
Thank you so much. The line to call for those of you staying there, those of you listening to us, +44 74 04 405 917. We still have an hour and a half. I'm going to come to the next speaker, which is going to be Dami. So prepare yourself on Twitter space. But let's listen to this video that I'm going to play, which is going to be an audio to those of you on the Twitter space. It's going to be one of our comrades. We call him George Akinola. These are people that in 2017 came out to say Nigeria is not even worth to go into restructuring. So 2 videos, they're under a minute. Let's listen to each one of them to start with.
Impediment to Yoruba development is the impediment to Yoruba development. Without Nigeria, we won't be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
If you don't allow we Biafrans to go, that zoological republic called Nigeria will be a worse place than Somalia. And today it is happening. And if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, please try and do so. Should I say Somali visa? Try and do so as quickly as possible, because the zoo is on the path of destruction. And there is nothing man can do to reverse it. Mark today's date and what I'm telling you. Nigeria will be destroyed beyond human comprehension.
even your business, because it's into business, is being affected by the APC government. So, while I am voting for APC, we are voting for Peter Obi. She answered and said, Tinubu is Yoruba, we will feel Yoruba like you vote for Igbo. And I felt bad. I felt bad. Now, what are we saying? Tribalism is everywhere. Nigeria, I went to Google on Saturday. I went to Google and I found out that Nigeria is top 3 of the countries in the world with the highest number of languages spoken. Like when it comes to multilingualism or multilingual, Nigeria puts a big thought. Like the languages are extreme. You can go Google search, make your research. Everybody listening here. Nigeria is top 3 of the country in the entire universe in the highest number of languages. And when we are talking about languages, we are talking about cultures, we are talking about traditions, we are talking about a lot of things. I don't tell these people fact whenever I go to the political space. I tell them this fact that Nigerian politicians from 1953, that Anthony Enaro moved that motion, and Amadu Bello countered it, and Nigeria experienced its first Kano riot, tribalism at its peak, that the Hausa people or Fulani, whatever they call themselves, were killing anything southern over there. Right from that moment, I do tell people this for that. Nigerian politicians have leverage on the diversity and the disunity in the country. Because somebody can just pick up one money and you can just want to pick up one money and make policies. Policies that is making life easy for people. Cannot just wake up one morning and say, yes, this is what we want for the people. And people will not react. It can only happen in a country where there is so much diversity and disunity. If it were a country where there is no much, the languages is not much, the ethnicity is not much, this one that Google did recently about the Naira scarcity or whatever is going on, it would happen. I don't tell people it would happen. The only time I knew Nigeria came together was when Goodluck Jonathan increased fuel price. Everybody came together for it. They know they didn't want it. Now these people can now just, I don't know. It shows that we are divided on political lines, we are divided on language, on culture, a lot of things. We are not a nation. We are a state. Nigeria is a state. It is a state full of nations. I said it, I wrote on a book recently, I said, Africa as a continent, it is a continent that ought to be filled with about at least 300 plus countries. And Nigeria itself has about almost 200 plus countries, or even 100 plus countries. But, this lady created a group that where I was in. And I said this part that we are still practicing what we call new colonialism. Understand? Nigeria is still under the colonial rule. More African countries are still under the colonial rule. So we are still answering to the British government, to the French government that is also colonized by the French people, assimilated or whatever they call it out there. So that is the situation. That is why referendum is becoming something hard. I want a peaceful referendum. And when my friends came, when I went to, they were like, after all, do you believe in Yoruba nation? I said, I will vote until the day that I experience a true referendum. If I am in US by then or UK by then, I will come back to Nigeria to vote for referendum. I don't mind. Referendum is what I'm waiting for. That is the election that I really want to participate in with all my heart. Referendum. But how are we going to get referendum? I don't tell Biafran people, you cannot get referendum by violence. I've seen a lot of videos where Biafrans were killed and killed like animals. You can't get referendum by violence. And I am so happy for the first time because I've been entering the Yoruba Biafra space, and I've been telling them this part. Biafra without Yoruba nation, you guys need to work hand in hand. And you cannot take this thing by violence. We are in the 21st century, nobody needs to die. We just need to do it peaceful. Okay? Because it happened also in UK. They did referendum. Scotland wanted to leave. And they did referendum. People wanted to stay. And the people who wanted to stay were much more than the people who wanted to go. And they had to be out of UK,
All right. Thank you so much.
So let us conduct referendum, a peaceful one.
All right. Thank
But
you.
the thing is,
Yeah.
when are we going to have that referendum?
Well,
That is what
when are we going to have this referendum? We see how it goes. Thank you so much, Dami. Let's once again, Mukibu T Ungbo Akakiri. Thank you for the speaker. We have, I believe, few more speakers there. We're still taking calls for those the Obafikwe. So I believe we have a caller. So let's balance it. Let's take our calls from here. Please let us make it very, very brief. Go ahead, caller. Please, let's make it very brief. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Good evening, my brother.
You're welcome.
I think it gets clearer by the day what we are dealing with. Nigeria, as it is, it's a crime scene, like you always say, and it's a criminal enterprise, I like to call Nigeria. So it is being run by cartels who are not willing to show their face or put their foot on the ground in Nigeria, which is the British Empire and the French. They run the Franco countries. So basically, the people they put forward as your leaders are the people who are willing to do the beatings of what these colonial masters should actually come and do themselves in Nigeria. So you have the administrators who are your president, Senate, House of Rep. So those are the ones keeping the books going for the criminal cartel. So they've set up this system to the extent that they don't have to visibly show themselves in the country, so that the brewer won't go around the world saying, why are the whites coming back to come and colonize us? They've actually set up a perfect system whereby a black person can be used to colonize the blacks. Now, this enterprise that they set up called Nigeria, a criminal enterprise, it is actually used to launder the indigenous people's wealth, which is your oil, your gold, your cash products, name it, everything. So this is why you see a lot of them currently in Nigeria concerned about the election of Nigeria, because I think we've hit the nail on the head, and there's a critical mass where a lot of masses of people are now waking up and are now aware to exactly what is going on and how unfair the whole system is. Now, you need to start looking at the so-called people you call the elites. Follow the money and you find the problem. These elites are purposely being picked out and being funded. They will use the example of Dangote. Now, let's use Dangote for example. They'll use the central bank, which is controlled by the West, which is owned by the West, to loan to an individual in your country, the person ready to do their bidding, to use and purchase a land on Yoruba land where they know the oil is. They funded the refinery. Now they are stealing the refinery under your nose and shipping it out for sale. So what you call that is oil laundering, oil bunkering, money laundering. Now, even the England that we know of today, Koiki, do you know that they only stopped paying slave masters in 2014? For why? Because the English Parliament decided that they should stop slavery then. So these people who own slave ships and slaves decided that they needed to be compensated. Now look at the years that they stopped slavery to 2014. England was still quietly paying this group of families for the fact that they stopped slavery. Now, I don't know for a fact, but I believe it's the same group of people who have now connived and called themselves elites, are now using the wealth that they have acquired to kind of capture individual countries and want to call those countries their own, to own the resources and everything upon it. So they have to create a fictitious entity, like take away your originality, your indigenous attachment to your land. They have to rename that to create ownership on top it, which is why they coined the name Nigeria for you. Because if you were still called Yoruba people till today, it will be very hard for them to impose taxation system into your country and to be able to steal from your country as it is. Now, Kila need Latishe as someone Yoruba, it's actually not very difficult. But we have to have the critical mass and readiness for it. Just withdraw yourself away from Nigeria and anything to do with Nigeria. Now, one, if I see Port Wale and those Chinese that you are talking about, Kole, Kababa is Ninyon Kole, sorry, because one Wabusa. Àwọn náà kò ṣe wọ́n fẹ́ mú Ayílála àbọ̀ fẹ́ mú Ṣàngó àbọ̀ Bàtálá. Tọ́ba rẹ̀ ni mú tọ́bẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wú tójú wú tápá ń wú ọ́ máa fi bẹ́lẹ̀. So it's like àwa fúnra wa are ready. Tí a bá ready, gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ kò ní ká máa pariwo lórí online rárá. It's like àmọ́ nǹkan tó ń lọ tẹ́lẹ̀ adẹ̀tí wà mọ̀ sí. So a ní láti lọ bẹ àwọn bàbá ńlá wa àtàwọn ìyá wa tá à ń pè lájẹ táwọn èèyàn wa ń pè lájẹ nǹkan kan yẹn. I need láti lọ bẹ̀ wọ́n because we have offended our ancestors. So we can't just think of the things we're going through now is basically because it's a payback for not respecting our ancestors and giving them their rights, which is the praises and the spirituality and all the we stopped all these things. So these are the repercussions of what is happening. Now we need to go back to that. So and yeah, and to mention military show of power. Yes, I knew within myself that it's actually against the law to roll the military on the streets of civilian roads. But we know that Nigeria as an entity is not practicing any law that is known to any normal person. So any law, the colonial master and we already know at the same time that Fulani and the North are actually not even practicing the constitution that we use down south. So what are we now fighting for? So it's time to call a spade a spade. And now we have already mobilized. Take our demands to the kings. If they refuse to do our demands, let the spiritual people within the lands do the needful. Let them start doing that process. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. We're going to come straight into the Twitter split to the last caller. We appreciate. We're still just about less than an hour out of the conversation, and I believe we have Mazi Owoma. If you unmute yourself, please, let's hear from you quickly. Thank you so much, Dami, for the conversation. Yeah.
Koikimedia.
Yes, go ahead.
I think a good man is here now.
No, yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. Okay. All right, go ahead. Uzoma, let's hear from you quickly. We're just an hour away or less than that. But for now, we appreciate everyone because we've done 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours. And I don't normally like it to stretch that much. Go ahead. Let's hear from you. Okay, it seems maybe there's a network from his own end. All right, let's bring iStar 2020. iStar 2020, unmute yourself. Let's hear from you. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to thank everybody in this space. thank all the Yoruba Nation and IGBOHO. Want to thank brother Koike and Simon Ekpa for making this our dream come true, because it's already coming true. I can see it. So I just want to, this is my first time of speaking, giving me the opportunity to speak. Everybody that is making this dream to come true, that God Almighty will keep on blessing you guys. So here that we are, we don't have right to speak, we don't have right to say anything. Even as a Christian, you are here, your life is in danger. So, but we are watching everything that is going on, and we are very, very happy. We are so much happy. Imagine in a nation where you don't have your own freedom, you can't talk, you can't walk around as you want. You can't even play music in the streets is a problem. Here we are. So, but I just thank God for this, this is our dream that is coming back. So that's all I want to say. I just say that God Almighty will keep on strengthening everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Best Anthony. Thank you so much to the last person that spoke. I'm not sure whether Iwama, you can go ahead now.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Iwama. The mic is yours.
Mo kí gbogbo àwa tí a wà lórí ètò.
We still have issues. We'll have to give it to some other person.
I think Elijah was here before.
Okay, Elijah, please make it snappy. Make it snappy.
Oh, thank you so much for the privilege you just gave me to come online to just speak.
Unmute yourself, Elijah.
I've unmuted myself. Can you hear me clearly? Hello, can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much for the privilege you guys gave me to come online to just speak. I just want to
Elijah.
No, brother. Yeah, I'm the one speaking, please. I'm speaking. Hello, can you hear me?
Ronald, who is supposed to?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, maybe it's my network.
Okay, you're welcome. Go ahead.
I want to appreciate
sorry, just one time
for giving me the opportunity to speak in this space. I want us to understand the facts. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
I want us to. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. I just want to know.
Elijah, go ahead. Where is
everybody? Someone that so I just want to credit everybody, Mr. Koki, for your beautiful work you're doing. I just want to ask
where's the other guy? Elijah, are you still there?
It might be the network from location 9.
Roland is here. All right. Okay. Can I speak now?
Go ahead.
Okay, this is Roland speaking. Good evening, everybody. I'm speaking from Nigeria, and I want to appreciate you all for giving me the opportunity to speak. I want us to understand the fact that Nigeria is a place of money, fame, and power game reached above the law. In Nigeria, if you have money, you can kill and go scot-free, and nobody will ask you. And this is not the democracy we are practicing. And as a matter of fact, the Fulani government have taken over the entire Nigeria. And as a matter of fact, they want to Islamize Nigeria. They want only their people to be in Nigeria. They don't want any other people. And it is high time the Oduduwa nation join hands with Biafrans and hasten the exit or the separatist movement for everybody to control their own region. It is high time we prove to them that we will no longer tolerate any colonization, oppression, exploitation, degradation, humiliation, discrimination, and marginalization. So it's getting out of hand, and I think the Oduduwa nation and the Biafran nation, they need to join hands. If it is any people they need to beat, the people that matters in the international communities that can quickly intervene, let them intervene and let's conduct a referendum, because Nigeria is no more, in fact, Nigeria is not working, as a matter of fact. And again, I don't know if Simon Ekpa is still on this space. I want to use this medium to advise him to use a different regimental dimension in some of his fighting. So sometimes
not advise, to suggest, not advise.
All right, to suggest that he should use a different regimental dimension, because sometimes there are some kind of statement he used to make when he wants to take action. And once he bring it to social media, the video will go viral in different military groups. And for that, the Nigerian government will mobilize their soldiers ahead of the plan. Right. Before you know it, they will be well prepared before you take your action. Because it's only a tree, and you will tell that I will cut this tree so there, and it will stand there and wait for you. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about.
Yes, don't worry. There are strategies to war. Just round up. There are strategies to war. He knows what he's doing. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'm a military person, and I'm into different military group, and I understand what is going on in Nigeria. Even right now, there are so many times you see the president forcefully retire some generals or people that matters in the military. And most of these people that are being forcefully retired are from Yoruba, Igbo, and Middle Belt. They want to be the only one in power. So let's do something as quickly as possible, and let's have our freedom from Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Well, IGBOHO Yoruba, and those that are still listening to us, as you can tell, just the same way we get intelligent, evidence is there that the Fulani I'm playing, for those that are not watching us live, in my background, I'm playing when the Chief of Defense Staff came to UK. We're not sure for what purpose, just as usual, just to bid for the colonial to continue to suppress, subjugate the rest of us. As we are going into almost the final lap of this program, we're going to quickly call out all those that are the remaining speakers that we have, and then we would end the Twitter space ahead of my program. Then that way, at least tomorrow, when we're live again, we will come up with a Twitter space, but we give more people to speak. So I'm not sure who is the next person to speak, because I know we have about 4 people left, so that we can allow them to speak. Who is the next person we should be calling? I
think if Anwamo should be speaking after him, Rocket.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I just want to pass one message.
Anwamo, not you, Rocket. Anwamo, if you're there, Anwamo, if you're there,
Mazi Woma, speak. So that make it short, quickly, so another person comes. There's no time. You see how they say mic problem.
We can't hear him at all. Let's get the next person in.
Oh, can you hear me now? Go ahead. Can you hear me now? Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Okay, koikimedia, I want to use this podium to commend you for standing firm at this struggle. I know that you were many when you started this movement. Some have already fought, but you keep the fire burning. I want you to keep it up because it is our duty, it is our determination, it is our future, and it is our home. If we allow these people to conquer us now, they will conquer us forever. This is time that we have to put things together, Yoruba nation and the Biafran nation. We have been brothers right from the time immemorial, before they divided us, and now the God of all creation has come to put us together once again. Please, let us keep it up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my brother. I guess we are having a call coming through here. Let's take this caller first and then we come back into the space again. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening, sir.
You're live. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're live with us. Ekale. I'll translate to those of you that don't understand Latin. Go ahead.
Mr. Koiki.
Yes, sir.
Well done. You're great of job. I like your job and I like your spoken.
Thank you so much.
More like you showing it. And this one. I'm almost media to pass money to go. Any come my money because and the money I do looking telling.
Okay.
I lay ship for that. I just never put it. I've been following you for more than 1 year now. So I just wish to call you today. Because I don't like your word, I like the way you spoke. Like when the man shot my child, the man shot, I'm follow. I feel like I'm back. So ẹjọ ẹ bá mi sọ fún àwọn èèyàn wa tó kù tó jẹ ọmọ káàró jíire ẹjẹ kó máa ṣe dáadáa kó má máa fi wọ́n ní máa bára wọn jẹ́ gbogbo eléyìí àwọn olóṣèlú tó wà láàrin ẹ̀ nínú wọn máa kọ́ máa darí wọn kọ́ máa da gbogbo ẹ̀rú ní kò dáa ẹjẹ ká fi wọ́n ní lẹ̀ ká dẹ̀ fókọ̀sì níbi tá à ń lọ ilé ló ṣe pàtàkì ká bá délé ta lè máa yanjú tó kọ́lọ̀ yìí lọ́wọ́ sà. My name is Olatunji Adisa.
Thank you so much.
You can get me on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, it's just words of encouragement from one of our listeners outside location 9. Let's come back into the space. We have just less than 3 more speakers, I guess. Like I said, after these 3 speakers, we will end the space, but I will still have the broadcast running for another half an hour on my own platform. But like I said, we will be doing more of this for kind of engagement between us here and those in the space. I'm not sure who is the next good man who is on the line to come on again.
Let's take Biafra and beyond.
Go ahead, Biafra and beyond.
Yeah, greetings, Koiki and everyone.
You're welcome.
I just want to hammer it again that it's we, most of all of us should, everybody actually should think and realize that the driving what you are fighting against is jihad. Fulani hides it, even though they sometimes say it like to your face, what you going to do. But and Muslims, they sympathize with them because when they see Sharia, because even though they don't even know Quran very well, they sympathize, they cannot go against. This is why never when Sultan said that Boko Haram is fighters or things like this, you never see anybody go to counteract him or protest against it from any Muslim, because those are practicing the reality they want, so they sympathize with them. So everybody should just get to know that don't expect them to be highlighting it for you every time. When Atiku went to the Pantafodio's tomb, that is the same thing they are activating, and all of them, they revere him, all of them. So all of us, we should be bringing this up that people know why they ignore all this, why they bring out military, so-called repentant Boko Haram and put them in the military. So we should be very, very focused on that. And brother was speaking a while ago, he was talking about international community. They know what is going on because it's them who go and remove even the Nigeria from those who persecute Christians and all those things. So they know what is happening. If you look into that, and they want also the populators. They are our population, our people. They don't like our population. You know, they don't want us to increase. They want to decrease the population by all means. Because life comes for some of them when they tell them people they struggle, they talk about one thing or the other and suffering, even come and sit at home, none of them are protected. I was reading with a fellow Biafran. He was telling me that our people suffer because of this. I said we are trying to bring a situation where we can put a border that people who are coming from Sahel to take away your life and trap your life. And we are there talking about you, will there be one thing or the other. If you don't have life, what are you going to do? There's nothing to protect or to go for any damn pleasure and all those things. So we should always remember that the so-called international community, they know and whose interest those people are protecting. They are, of course, they know everything that is happening. They saw all the violence and they never talk about it. So you don't expect them to be the one to talk about it. It's you who prove to them that you have your common sense. You can think. You can just bring out it and don't expect them. You have to grab it yourself. You know, so we don't wait for them to come and tell us. So the non-Muslims should know this and know the mentality of people you are dealing with. It's always good to understand who you are dealing with. Read their book. Don't worry. Be brave enough to read every book and understand. There are people. There's a guy called Christian Prince on YouTube. He will explain things. You just listen to him. You understand the mentality very well. He's an Arab. Christian Prince is an Arab. He will show you the whole thing and you understand what jihad is. Our people don't know this. Most of all these people don't know that people want to kill you. You are protecting them who want to kill you. The people said he said that the biggest weapon or the most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. And this is what is playing out. My brother, so but we have to just keep it up and keep spreading the news. Like the brother who said that we don't go or that we have to find a peaceful way. We are not the aggressor here. You should start thinking and know who the aggressor is. We are trying to we are defending ourselves to be alive. You see them carry all these things. It's not who is going to the north to go kill people. People come from Sahel to go to the south and massacre our people, and the same people are not being persecuted. They release them and put them into the military to go send them to the south as well. So they should start thinking. Let me not take too much time. My brother, keep it running.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Biafra and beyond. Moki Bugowa, Lenkonse, and those that are still with us, we are almost a few more minutes on the Twitter space. I believe we have one more speaker, and then I'm going to allow my co-host to speak, and then we close the Twitter space. I heard Toby Chukuku AJ. Go ahead, you have the floor. We're almost done on the Twitter space and we'll come back into the studio in just about 4 minutes. Okay. It looks like is he having mic issue?
He's not talking.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just bring him back to the floor. So good man, as I guess
As a woman has spoken before.
He has spoken before, and we're having issues with his mic as well. So, Goodman and Ikonso, before we close the Twitter space, give us your closing remark. And we appreciate everyone that have joined us on the Twitter space again. We will encourage more of our people to also have Twitter. Not everybody has Twitter. I know a lot of you love YouTube, Facebook, but the real wahala is on Twitter, the guerrilla warfare. Go ahead, Goodman, with the closing remark before we end the Twitter space.
So take it up, and then I'll round up.
My brother,
just say something, and then I'll round up. If you have nothing to say, then let me close it.
Okay, bring him up. Let's give him. Go ahead, Wasil Bakari. Your light. Go ahead. Wasil Bakari, believe it's just sent a request. We won't take any more requests after that. Go ahead. Sometimes it's the network from location confusion.
Unmute yourself, Wasil. Unmute myself.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Good evening, everybody. My brother, koikimedia. I love you, brother. We are together doing this struggle. The Chief Sunday go at the Amos house. I also have a picture with me here. My brother, we just need to put courage into the mind of our people. Don't let us lose focus. I'm in Nigeria here, I'm locational here, and I'm into so many people here. I'm one of the guys under the DK. You know the DK very, very well.
Yeah.
They are fighting the fight out of here. They are fighting the fight back out of here. We are convincing our people. We are enlightening them. We are letting them know that we are not fighting because we want to fight, but we are fighting because we want to get our freedom. Because these people want to keep us under their foot, to be directing us the way they want us to go. Like what I told my people in the group, one of my group that belongs to, that keep pushing them, this election the way it's going. We told them that this is not going to work. These Fulani people will not succumb to us. They will not give us the free hand to do things we want us to do. And they have the backup of the British colonized. They have that strong backup. But one thing I want us to do is that they just keep focused. Let us keep focused. Let us keep focused. Because victory is ours at the end of the day. I'm really happy to join this platform. And I believe, and I also talk to my Igbo brothers here, please, I have so many messages back home. So many messages back home due to what happened in Lagos. I love the way the Igbo showed each show and Yoruba brothers that does not mean because we are in your land, does not mean that we don't have the right. I love it so much. But let us keep love between ourselves. Because these houses that want to create enmity between us. So they can easily come in, they say they want someone to create peace. And from there, they will start killing our brothers. They will start killing our people. From there, they will go to shake their head. Let's keep peace between the Igbos and the Yoruba because we are one. We have been doing business together for ages before this Hausa Fulani came to us. Please, let's keep the love that is growing between us. I follow Samepa so much. Every time Samepa is online, I follow him every time. I love you, my Igbo girls. I have so many Igbo brothers. So many brothers when I was growing up. I have so many Igbo brothers. I grew up in America. I have so many friends that are Igbo brothers. We did together. I understand them so much. Let us keep this love going. We can fight this battle together and defeat our enemies together. I love you guys. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good man. Thank you so much. Let's close it now from your end. We won't bring anybody in again. Good man, go ahead.
Yes,
let me go before good man. Thank you so much.
Just be spoken.
Thank you and all the people that came to the guest. I want to thank each and every one of us and encourage each and every one of us to know that this part that we are using is not. That is the heart of freedom. And there's no going back. That we also be encouraged in everything that is going to come out as a result of the part that we go. And we should always look out for the gift of koikimedia, gift of Samoneka, gift of other media warriors that are really between them, always with them. These are the little contributions that we can do, push the gospel forward for more people see what we are doing, that we have declared that we are not doing this again, that we are functional from the zoological republic, from the meditation 419. Thank you, my brothers, for coming around, and thank you for media for having me. God bless us all.
Thank you, Konzo. And let's now get the last one from our brother. It will never be the last one because we will always continue with the Twitter space and the other platform. Go ahead, good man, and help us to close this beautiful section on the Twitter space. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you, my beloved koikimedia. Please, each and every one of us should make sure we follow koikimedia and then subscribe to his channel on YouTube so that once he comes up, you can just go there and like. So you give him support and make one or two comments. If you're busy, you can go out, but just try to see that you go there. Koikimedia, I've been doing that constantly. Once you come, I go there and I like, because as long as you are doing things for freedom, I am with you. I am so hungry and desperate for freedom. And that is why I want to speak with my brothers, the Yorubas that are here. You take this message home. Tell your brothers and your sisters to open the Twitter pages and make sure you tweet and follow Koikimedia. Follow every freedom fighter, Simon Ekpa, Koikimedia. Whoever you know that is pushing hard for the freedom, follow, because they are doing all this, taking all this time and pain for you. Go and follow them. And then also remember that your pastors are not doing anything. Your pastors are not doing anything. They are not telling you the truth that Nigeria is not a country. It's a company. It's a Royal Niger Territories company. They tell you to pray for Nigeria. Nigeria is not working. You must not continue to pray for what is not working. That is why they are killing you. They have no vision of this election. They only told you to go and get PVC, but they never knew that. They are telling you that they never knew that the election is going to be bad, because God doesn't talk to them. Remember, God tells them nothing. They only hear from themselves and their stomach. They are not there for you. So when you are going there, let your eyes be open. There are many fake liars everywhere in the name of the IGBOHOs. And then the enmity between the Yorubas and the Tuduwas are all instigated by politicians. It is all politically motivated. Love your Tuduwa brother. Love your Biafran brother. None of them are your enemies. The Yorubas are very peaceful. Only when they are instigated politically against their beloved neighbors. The Biafrans are also very peaceful. Wherever they go, they stay, they live like their hometown. They live as though they are in their own hometown. And they make sure whatever they are going to acquire there, they don't take it by killing you. They pay every time before they acquire any property. They pay everything payable. So they are very peaceful and they are very developmental orientated. So love them. They are not your problem. We have just one common enemy, the Fulanis, who want to kill us and take our land. And that is why we are here talking about our freedom, so that we can protect our land, not resources. Nobody's talking about resources. When you are alive, then you can talk about what you can use to make your life beautiful. So your life is the priority here. Everybody here on this page, listen and listen good. Protect your life and your boundaries, so that you can sleep and close your two eyes. And then you will not be afraid of being exterminated. That is why we are talking about freedom. Freedom is sweet. Embrace it. Follow them so that you learn from them and you understand the roadmap they have for you. You cannot be in your bedroom watching your comedy and then you know what is happening. Thank you, Koikimedia. God bless you. I love you so much.
Thank you so much to everyone, and we say good night on the Twitter space. May Eledumare be with us, and we love every single one of you. Thank you so much to every one of us tonight. Bye for now. Well, that is our Twitter space, and that is how it is. We will continue, we will advance, we will continue to push the message. This beautiful sculpture is 700 years old. This sculpture is older than the queen that died a few months ago, last year. Alabido, thank you, Kenny, Oluwole, and those of you on the Instagram. Olakunle, thank you so much. Mokinye Egbomi, Shegun Honor. Young Molara, we're almost ending the program. It won't go more than 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes, we're going to close it. Ajayi Gabriel, thank you so much. Kayode Omok, thank you. Mary Ike, thank you. This sculpture is from Ile-Ife. This sculpture has been arrested. It's with the British police because somebody bought it for less than €100. these people that buy all these artifacts and whatever bought it from the Belgian government. It was stolen from Nigeria, got to Belgium, end up with him. He wanted to come and sell it in the UK. This is from Ile-Ife. This is who we are. 700 years old. Where was Nigeria 700 years ago? It's not a lot of, it's not that long, but that is one of our history. Mukiyawa Joke, Bodunrin, Mori, Yamina Joke, Ajoke, Olajumoke, Ekabo Momiwa, Salahu Egbomi, Mufta, Dino, not Dino Malayo, Shamsuddin Oladipupo, my beautiful auntie Temi Fatai, Omoni, Toto Omukidaruko Gboni, Sadiq. If I didn't mention your name, you might just probably maybe it skipped. Yami Queen Momo, Babawa Bambo, Okewo. And I know we have intellectuals that sit here. Sometimes they say, Koikimedia, sorry, I'm like a mama sort there. That's what makes it good as well. But I won't come to their stool. I don't listen to all these rubbish voice notes that a lot of you are putting across. My head is much, look, I am thinking much bigger. It does not matter whatever they say about Babakintoye. He will remain the leader of the Yoruba nation. So some of you might probably send me audio. When I start with these 30 seconds, I know what could be in there. I delete it. I don't even bother myself. Because some people think that the Yoruba nation is all about gossip. You can hear what Goodman was saying there, that last guy that spoke from the Biafra. He's hungry for freedom. I was hungry for freedom. We turn Yoruba nation to fracas. I won't come to your stool. I won't come to that your level. No. We will continue to communicate. We will continue to tell the people that this is who we are. This sculpture behind me. Let me move this way so you can see it properly. This is currently with the London Metropolitan Police. 700 years old. Yeah, they turned the Yoruba nation to drama series. It's crazy. And what's 11 years? No. We'll take maybe this last caller and then we will wind down quickly. Hello? Hello, sir. I'm going, sir. Ben, sir. More program. So, more program. Okay, oh, Shofi sorrow me. Let me call him back. This is the kind of what I get every day. Till line the Baba open, I'm already that the logo the Baba for the year. So, when I face sorrow, it will disconnect. Hopefully, if you come back. Shefe sorrow ni call our to disconnect. Hello. Video àti kúrò lórí yẹn ti pẹ́ èyí wà bá kẹ́sì wà behind me àti kúrò lórí yẹn ti pẹ́. Mo gbọ́ yín sorry mo wà lórí another call so mo gbọ́ nǹkan tẹ́ sọ at the beginning of the 10 seconds ẹ gbọ́ àyè padà.
Mo ní wọ́n fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ mo kí n fún iṣẹ́ takuntakun tẹ̀ ń ṣe.
Ká dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run bá.
Ọlọ́run máa wà pẹ̀lú yín. Ọlọ́run máa wà pẹ̀lú yín. Nǹkan tó jẹ́ wa lógún ọgbọ́n ni wípé bí orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá bó ṣe máa dúró ọgbọ́n ló jẹ́ wá lógún àti kàkà ni mo ti ń pè. So oríṣiríṣi àwọn ènìyàn sí nǹkan tí àti èèyàn lè bí nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ má jẹ́ pé kó yẹ wọ́n gbà wípé these people don't have what we have in Yorùbá land. So and we dey encourage àwọn Yorùbá wa náà tó kù ní diaspora kí wọ́n ṣe kí ni kí wọ́n support àti contribution and everything lóòótọ́ kò sí àwọn tí kan tó kéré pé bákan fún ìlọsíwájú ni àwọn tó pariwo wọn Nàìjíríà ṣe bí wọ́n máa ń lọ sí vacation létí wọn nílé ìlú wọn á máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa háìdí káàkiri wọn á máa rìn wọn á máa bójú wẹ̀yìn má dẹ̀ máa pariwo wọn Nàìjíríà ìlú yẹn ti bàjẹ́ ó ti rọ́ọ̀tì kò sẹ́yìn ọ̀kan tó lè tú ilé yẹn ṣe mọ́ bó ṣe wà yẹn. So that's my question.
Mo kí yín láti kàtà ẹ ṣé gan, thank you so much, we appreciate. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ìyá mi Jọkẹ́ Bọ́dúnrìn wọ́n mi àwòrán tá à ń wò yìí 700 years old. Òun ni ìtàn wò yìí. Ìtàn pè ní Yorùbá nìyẹn. Kódà eléyìí tí máa fi wọ̀nyí tó jẹ́ àwọn àwòrán wọ́n ní kò ju ó rà pé bí a bí mẹ́sàn-án, I'm not sure the numbers tó kù. Eléyìí tí mo fẹ́ fi wọ̀nyí nísìn lára àwọn àwòrán yẹn nígbà tó kó wọn wá sí London for exhibition in the 50s. Imagine wọ́n kó wọn wá sí London for exhibition. Òun lẹ́ ń wò yìí. Ọba àjọ náà lọ́hùn tó kó wọn wá lélẹ̀. But because àmọ́ value ń ta ní mo fẹ́ mú fẹ́ padà mo rántí màá lọ wá details orúkọ ọba yìí lára àwọn ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tọ́nà gbé àwọn kìíní ẹ̀ wá. I'm showing you the rest of those sculpture that are somewhere around there. But nígbà tá àmọ́ value ń ta ní tàbá mọ value ẹ̀ ní ìyẹn kan máa pariwo Nàìjíríà. Níbi tẹ́mi pariwo Yorùbá nation èèyàn kan pariwo Nàìjíríà. Eléyìí náà ní sìn Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo leléyìí ó wà lábẹ́ UNESCO. It's an heritage site. Ọ̀ṣun Òṣogbo òun lẹ̀ ń wò yìí. A ti ṣe program lé lórí. Nǹkan wò yìí ó wà lábẹ́ UNESCO as an heritage site. Tàbá mọ tán pè ní heritage site. Ọ̀tá àmọ́ value ẹ̀ ń pariwo Nàìjíríà. Heritage wa wọ́n fẹ́ gbà kúrò lọ́wọ́ wa. Mo fẹ́ lọ wo bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ní sculpture yẹn lápá ní ètò. Mo wọnú back end kìíní mi. But àwọn ò ní dákẹ́ torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín ẹ ti wà in poverty for a very long time. So àdúrà tẹ́yìn máa ń gbà lójoojúmọ́ ni pé kí Nàìjíríà kó dáa. But àwọn ò ní bá yín gbàdúrà bẹ́ẹ̀ ò lélẹ̀. Àwọn orí yẹn lélẹ̀. Technology wo lọ lò ní 700 years ago tó fi ṣe kínní. Ó pọ̀ wọ́n ti jí ìtàn máa jí ń bẹ̀ wọ́n ti destroy nígbà táwọn òyìnbó ń jalè káàkiri. Àdélégbà kọ́ ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan mọ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń pa wifi yẹn. This is who we are. Mo kí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Waris Jinadu. Ìjà lè máa rò pé báwo lọ ṣe build kìíní níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn ní 700 years ago kò tí sí kọ̀mpútà. Àwọn bàbá kan dẹ̀ jókòó wọ́n dẹ̀ gbẹ́ kìíní wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe. Ẹ lè má rí ṣẹ́rí lè gangan ló wà lọ́wọ́ UK ibi tó ti ń jí káàkiri ló damage ní o. Ìtẹ̀ ń wò yìí 700 years old ní ìtẹ̀kọ̀rọ̀ láwò yìí. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ìjọba sísàlẹ̀ díẹ̀ sí. This is 700 years old. Bí ṣe ń bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn, ó wà lọ́wọ́ ọlọ́pàá ní UK. Èèyàn kan fi wá tà ní millions of dollars. Àwọn ibi tó fẹ́ tà sí làwọn yẹn sọ pé wọ́n ti wá kéde yìí, wọ́n ti declare wanted. Wọ́n ti kọ́kọ́ jí ní Nàìjíríà láti Jos níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn ní Plateau. Wọ́n bá ní ọ̀nà Switzerland. Wọ́n dá padà wá sí Nàìjíríà. Ó tún bá rẹ̀ ní Belgium. The Yorubas are far civilized before the British came. This is who we are. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni yàrá ọmọlára Yorùbá nation máa dá dúró lágbára Elédùmarè. Àní lè lọ jù báyìí lọ lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ó tún di ọ̀la. Ìran Yorùbá ò ní wọn ò ní kó wa lẹ́rú. Tọ́ba ní kó wa lẹ́rú àwa náà gbọ́dọ̀ dúró dáadáa. Òǹgbẹ freedom ó yẹ kó máa mú wa lọ́kàn. Ó dẹ̀ máa mú wa jura wa lọ. Àwọn kan ti sọ the drama series. God last born, thank you so much. So I'm gonna play You Don't See Igboho and we will now end this broadcast. Thank you so much. We started with the Simon Ekpa State of the Nation broadcast. It's 10:30 p.m. local time in London. Otuba Adekunle Yoruba Nation must stand by force by fire. Ó ti di dandan. Ẹni máa kú máa kú ẹni máa yẹ ló máa yé ni. Àwa ọ̀dẹ̀ ní bá wọn kú, àwọn lọ́ máa kú. So let us listen to You Don't See Igboho. Mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram. Thank you so much. Even if I don't mention all the names. Yoruba nation is the only solution. Tó fẹ́ dàrọ̀ kíkú olóhùn láti bẹ̀rù àṣìṣe ìṣẹ́kù ìkẹjẹ tẹ̀síwájú. 725 only. Thanks, Nicola. Osi Igbo African Confidential Banking. Eunice Uche. Oh, hey, Biafra. Good night, everybody. Till tomorrow morning. Daro. Akuko. And Simon Ekpa is just a good guy. Nothing more than that. He's just a good guy. Thank you so much, every single one of you. Stanley Chukuma Odaro. How do you say Odaro in Biafra land? Before I off my mic. Eunice, can you help me? How do you say Odaro? Kashifonu. I think that one I was sad. How do you say Odaro in Biafra land? Before I close my mic, I'm waiting. Is Kashifo? Oh, so Kashifo is a Biafra, is a good night to my beautiful mother. So Kashifo is a Igbo language. Okay, why am I thinking that is a Hausa language then? Kashifonu. Make I write that one down. So at least we can mention that one. Make I write the spelling. Stanley, so that's the right spelling, right? So Eunice, you know now to the right Igbo as well, eh? So you're just like me, my sister. So your Igbo is not very good in writing. I know maybe you can speak and you can cook for Oga. Kashifonu. At least I learned Akuko from Simon Ekpa. Akuko. It is Igbo language. Okay. Wow. Thank you so much. And on that note, I leave you with the Ojo song and we'll close the podcast. Odaro, Simon Ekpa is just a good guy.
Yoruba nation yìí ti gbogbo wa ni kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sílùú mìíràn.
Yeah, I know Akuko na story. I learned that from Simon Ekpa.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.